Alright, so Paimon was just like, oh, there's something in the ground, blah, blah, blah. And that's the only thing I know so far. Oh, look, there's something in the ground. Wow. Dig.
Found it. Paimon wonders what it is.
It's a drum with the cryo marking on it, apparently.
Huh? Oh, come on. This is no treasure. It's just a tattered old drum. We don't know what it can be used for either.
Well, that if we brought this to the ancient antique seller, if we brought this one back to the academia, let's say we brought this back to the Grand Bazaar, we should probably talk to Origin, right? The antique seller?
Oh, that's right. Despite its rather shabby appearance, it might still be some valuable antique. We might be able to sell it for a good price in Roengens, right?
Oh, I didn't want to sell it. I just wanted to get it marked up.
Hold on. There's a note over here at the side. It might just hold some clues.
Nameless adventurer's notes. This time I've been commissioned to try and find a local order and obtain information about something known as the sign of Apaosha. Okay, I must say that the remuneration seems quite outsized when compared to the mission content. I hope I won't get caught up in any trouble. I reached the entrance of the Tamir Mountains with the help of an Eremite mercenary, but he refused to continue onward, saying that this was the border of a war. Must be some sort of desert dweller superstition. Contrary to what I was told, it seems that these Nagajunites are not very friendly to outsiders. Looks like I'll have to try infiltrating their ranks. I finally managed to make it out. Thankfully, these people are pretty civilized, so I managed to get away with my life. That sounds weirdly racist, and I don't know why that's rubbing me the wrong way. As I thought, these high remunerated commissions always have something fishy going on. Looks like an adventurer's work doesn't suit people who just want to earn some quick mora. I'll just leave this drum here. Maybe someone will pick it up. This way, I guess I won't totally disappoint Miss Catherine.
Let Paimon see. Huh, this seems to have been left by an adventurer. The sign of the Aposha. Paimon's not sure what this guy's talking about, but he sure is irresponsible leaving a commission unfinished just because it's hard. But since that's how things are, let's hand this drum over to Catherine and let her reassign someone to complete whatever this commission was. And she's probably going to assign it to us because we're the ones that brought it up to her. Because no one else can do their goddamn job.
Hello there, traveler. How have your recent travels gone?
They've gone quite well, thank you. I don't know why I suddenly started speaking like this.
I've heard about your previous adventures. It seems that you become very experienced. As long as you keep going, I believe that it'll only be a matter of time before you become a truly great adventurer.
Speaking of adventures, we found this one on one of ours. This was left by some irresponsible adventurer. We thought it'd be bad if the commission he took over never got resolved, so we brought it back here.
It's the same pop-up. Indeed. This item is a key to a particular commission. Thank you very much. The commission linked to this drum is a very important one from academia, and it's also critical to the expansion of our operations. Can you do this for us since you're definitely not busy? Unfortunately, though, we have previously given this commission to various talented adventurers, and they've all invariably failed. Oh boy, here comes trouble. Well, this is an issue that even the academia can't solve, so we did expect a relatively high failure rate.
Actually, Paimon's getting kind of curious now.
Shut up, Paimon.
What sort of commission is this anyway?
Simply put, a recent star observation by researchers from the academia led to the discovery that northern skies have become blocked by a strange heretofore unseen phenomenon. Concerned that this would have a great impact on the accuracy of any astrological calculations, the academia immediately put people together to investigate. This resulted in the delving into ancient records, within which they found mention of a strange phenomenon known as the signs of Aposha, which bears strong similarities to the recent occurrence. According to these records, the celestial sign appeared after the disaster that engulfed most of Teyvat 500 years ago. Although the circumstances of the eventual disappearance are unclear, the position has been determined to be near the Tamir Mountains, at the northmost regions of the desert. However, that area was only ever sparsely populated. Even when the ancient desert realms were at their peak, they did not extend that far. And after the cataclysm 500 years ago, that place was one of the areas worst affected by the encroaching abyss due to it being connected to an ancient underground realm. I don't want to go there. Since then, it has been declared a restricted zone by the academia. The only people who still live there are a mysterious Darshan known by the academia as the Nargajunites. A whole... So that's the 8th Darshan? Is it 8th or 7th? I don't remember. Ah, okay.
Although they seem like legends to the average person, they were once a Darshan of the Academia, albeit one that split off 500 years ago.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
Then, the researcher who wished to fight the monsters from the abyss banded together and traveled to the depths of the desert, and the Nargajunites are an organization comprised of the people who stayed there in the end. That said, it has been many years since, and they have branched off further and further from the Academia. They seem to have developed their own academic traditions. It seems that they also worship a form of energy known as Khvarena? Khvarena? Okay, the energy communicates with them in the form of spirits. Well, I feel I'm going off topic now. The Academia believes that this faction is strongly related to the celestial sign. However, they have not been able to establish contact with this group and such have commissioned the guild to assist in their investigations. This is a win-win situation for us as well. Ruins related to Khvarena are located nearby, but the exploration in that area has been declared taboo by the Academia until now. If this commission is a success, perhaps we'll be able to participate in future expeditions to those ruins. Since you have heard me say this much, would you like to take this commission? Because clearly you're not doing anything.
Since Khvarena is involved, I guess I'm here.
They're after all that! It sounds like we need to look for those whateverites, right?
That was... Okay. That comes off as weirdly racist.
Sounds like it'll be pretty easy. We'll be getting some more from the Academia too.
Yes, that drum you picked up was originally given to us by the Academia to be used as a token of good faith in our dealings with the Nargajunites. Just give it to the organization's leader. It stands to reason that they'll have some way to resolve this problem. I'll be leaving this task in your hands then. I've marked the rough position in the Tamir Mountains for you. Ad Astra Abyssos, traveler. May it inscribe a new legend in the desert sands.
Ad Astra, my ass! I do not want to be going anywhere near the abyss. Literally every single SUMERU quest is just, well, that's mildly racist. Okay, but Paimon not being able to say the words is just, I don't know. It's been low-key bothering me because this is the only area where she's just like, oh, we have to just talk to the whoever it is. And like, she doesn't fully say the names of like the locations or the people. And I'm just like, why is it only this one? Why is it only SUMERU that you start doing this?
We're finally at the place Catherine mentioned. The desert here looks pretty different than what we've seen before. There's strange crystals all over the place. Let's see if we can find any campsites nearby. I can't read anything because Paimon won't let me.
Hello, person. Who are you? You guys don't look like the tribespeople of the desert. More like adventurers from a faraway land. But no matter who you are, this is as far you'll get. Please go back. Bold of you to assume I'm gonna turn around. We're here to resolve the issue regarding the sign of the Aposha. Sign of Aposha. How do you know of this name?
We're adventurers who have an organization at our backs. Catherine's the Adventurers Guild told us, of course.
Since you know of the sign of the Aposha, you must have heard of Shamania? Order of the Skeptics. Oh, is that the other Darshan, right? The desert past this point is a restricted zone under our guard. As a ranger of the Order of Skeptics, I cannot let you pass, no matter what reason you may have. So you're a forest ranger, but desert. Order of the Skeptics? My apologies. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Piero. Piero? A member of the Order of Skeptics in charge of guarding this place.
Order of Skeptics? Paimon remembers that Catherine told us to look for the Nagujinites or something. Looks like Piero isn't the one we're looking for.
Nagujinites? That's just a derogatory name that those guys from the rainforest have for us. Oh, so it's a racist. So you guys are actually called the other name. Lord Nagajuna is a hero who fought against the Dev monster, okay, alongside the divine bird heirs. He gained divine power through the rite of Chinvat and put an end to calamity. How dare they call us such a great hero and our first Vijnanapati by his given name? So it's rude to be calling him... Okay, we're not going to call him that. Why am I telling outsiders this? Are you two spies from the Academia? Sounds like an anthropology problem. We're here because we accepted a commission from the academia. So those academia folks have been reduced to hiring some no-name adventure... no name to do their dirty work, huh? Cowards, just as I thought. I thought they might send over some mercenaries over at worst. One oversight on my part. No name?
Paimon didn't think that you were going to be a bitch. Didn't expect you to have such strong opinions about the academia.
Of course, Nord Nasuraya has said that we wouldn't have to be reduced to this state if it weren't for them. Wait, so you're here to gather intelligence after all? Ugh, I revealed more than I should. Anyway, please leave. If this conversation continues, as unwilling as I might be to do so, I will have to end you. You can certainly try.
What? You're the one who couldn't resist blabbing. Why are you putting the blame onto us? Also, there's no need to be rash. Oh right, Traveler, show Piero the token that Catherine gave us. He'll know what's going on once he sees it.
Token? This better not be some trick.
Ta-da! Look! I told you we weren't lying!
What is this shabby drum? You call this a token?
Huh? Did Catherine mix things up?
You guys don't think you can bribe me with such a small thing, do you? Leave now or things will get nasty. Don't you underestimate us skeptics. Bring it on. I guess we're fighting now.
Are we seriously gonna fight?
Huh?
And then we do this, and we're done. Bye. Oh, cease, I say. Lady Sorush? Oh, y'all talking. Oh, why did you didn't have to attend such trivial matters personally, let alone in front of these outsiders. Your ass is kind of getting kicked, so maybe it's a good thing she stopped.
You?
We party appeared before whoever we wish, and our volition is not for you mere mortals to question. How dare you overstep your bounds?
This little thing's about Paimon's size, and the way she talks is kind of funny. Why is Piero calling lady in that reverent tone?
Your sins will be judged at the time that is yet to come. The two of you over there, as envoys of the academia, it is only polite in your state to names first, no?
Yeah, we should have introduced ourselves first, but that high and mighty attitude of yours is...
My words and actions are not contrary to traditions and principles of the Paris. The same cannot be said for you nameless persons.
Fine, we're not nameless. Paimon is Paimon, and he's Traveler. We're adventurers who came out here on a commission.
I'm the one who's the adventurer.
Hey, we adventure together all the time.
I need only know your names. Your other trivialities do not concern me. However, as for that drum, that item has profound connection with us Paris, and is not something that you mortals should possess. Traveler, I command you to present it to me immediately.
No way! At least sound nicer about it when you're asking someone for a favor. Besides, this item's important to our commission. We're to hand it over to the leader of the order of yours.
She is probably the leader.
If we give it to you and fail to complete the mission because of that, not only might we lose our reward, but we might even have to pay more to the Adventure Guild. That's a huge loss.
Reward? Mora? To think that you would risk your lives in a place fraught with peril for such frivolous reasons? You know nothing of what transpires here. One mistake would send your race tumbling into an eternal samsara, and you commit deeds that are beyond even our comprehension. Also, I just realized she has the neck collar, right? This thing that Nahida also has. It's like a little heart shape. Curious. You humans are such interesting beings. No matter, I shall bring you the leader which you speak of. This item would remain worthy tribute, even if you should only present it to me after that meeting.
That's more like it. Wait, that's still not right. We still have a deal with that huge hole in the sky, and if we don't...
Huge hole? You refer to the sign of Apoosha, then. You wish to quell this calamity with mere mortal coils? Ha! How presumptuous! It is the duty of us Paris to eradicate the sign of Apoosha, and endeavors such as I, Sorush, shall give all my accomplish. To quell this calamity, I must follow the footsteps of the divine bird, another bird, SUMERU, and sacrifice everything that one might call Sorush. So you have to combine yourself with the bird, which we already saw a bunch of elemental beings combine themselves with a pep. Why is this a theme? I'm curious. Why? To stand in my way is not a sin that one such as yours may bear. Who's the birdie? Foolish beings, have you not heard of the divine SUMERU? She is the master of Khvarena, who once saved the land from destruction. Legend has it that she who split into infinite motes of Khvarena after her sacrifice, thus quelling the catastrophe.
Sure, but Paimon doesn't think that we'll need you to sacrifice yourself.
Any case, this matter is far beyond your capabilities, and your intervention is futile. All you must do is bear silent witness as I transcend. You shall receive remuneration from this guild of yours as long as the calamity is quelled, will you not? Still, do not forget to extol my virtues and I laud my accomplishments. After all, even the greatest heroes shall require more mortals like you to sing of their deeds. But Lady Sorush, the Vishnanapati, has instructed us to forbid suspicious individuals from interfering before the ritual is complete. I've decided, and as a pari, my word is law. Alright, follow me. I shall lead you to the leader you spoke of. But gird yourself all the same. That which lies ahead is not a place that human beings can easily set foot in. If you get lost or end up being eaten by some monster appearing out of nowhere, there's nothing I shouldn't do for you.
She really talks big game, huh? Ah, she's annoying. She's not even all that large, but she talks... I can't speak everything.
Even Lady Sorush says so, which means I'm not the one to blame. Okay, I guess we're following you. I don't like how... I wonder if that was caused by the calamity 500 years ago. Those little crystal things. The path ahead has been open. You merely need... Okay, me Puri must be regarded in being one body and mind. Words of gratitude are not required. Come on now. I would like to read your words if that's the case, okay? Oh my god, let me read. To think that this place too has been occupied by Dev. These monsters are more often a nuisance. Seems that the sign of a potion must be extinguished. My mission, something. Please let me read the dialogue game.
What do you mean, Dev? Aren't these just abyss mages and hilichurls?
To think that you would so easily defeat these rampaging Dev. Your strength is most radiant indeed. Consider me impressed. Though there is quite the gap between you and us, Puri. The sight of you fighting valiantly reminds me of those humans of legend who once fought alongside us. Do tell, was there another blonde lady, perhaps, that fought alongside you? I've decided then. You shall have the honor of being my... Yasnapati?
Yasnapati? Paimon doesn't know what that thing is, but coming from you, it can't be anything good, really.
You do not have such things amongst humans, strategists, scribes, and the like. Those who exist to praise the heroes whose stories they exist in? Bards?
Neither of those jobs are what you just described.
No matter how great the hero, their deeds must be recorded and sung by others. If not, the same fate that befell ancient heroes shall befall them also. Though they might have loves, violence, and conflict, great deeds are still great deeds, and they deserve to be remembered. Alas, those who loved conflict would be consumed by it, and once they had slain each other, they were all lost. Because there were no authors or poets to tell of their deeds, ones who have lived in such times are gone, their works forgotten to the last. I will not be like them. My great work shall shine so gloriously that the world itself will suffer great loss to not know of it. Thus, I shall now give you permission to record those deeds. Rejoice and give thanks, for this is not grace that you receive from us, Pari.
This all sounds very complicated, but basically you just need someone to tell you how awesome you are, right?
Not interested, thanks.
That's right! There's nothing worth bragging about you! You just look kinda cute, that's all.
Your refusal is futile. Orders given by a party are absolute. And what do you mean cute? I am valiant! Heroic! Whatever the case, it's been decided. Fret not, you shall be free to do once as you please once I've sacrificed myself to restore the pure skies. Till then, you shall witness my valiant form.
Well, sure. Even if Paimon can't see it.
I love that we've just accepted a bard job.
She looks pretty cute, but her attitude's just the worst. And the way she goes on about us and we and such. There are others like her around, right? Ugh, just think about it. Paimon makes ill.
Yes, give me flowers. Excuse me while I pick up all these flowers surrounding your area. I'm causing deforestation and lack of biodiversity in this area. Oh, hello. The path here is now dotted with gray crystals. When I last left it, it was not yet so.
Red crystals? You mean the crystals we're seeing everywhere? Also, I think they're purple. Paimon's had her eye on them for a while now. What are they?
Gray crystals are the remnant of the Black Fire's embers, proof that this land has suffered great calamity. The calamity 500 years ago? Indeed. I'm sure you've heard such great catastrophe struck long ago, when dark fire rose from beneath the earth and scorched the land. The dark fire opened a bottomless hollow in this land, and the demons of Dev that crawled through the gap nearly turned to this lightless realm. Though the gap was blocked by the great tree, the dark fire's filth spread like seeds. The countless dark and painful memories released by the corruption began to lay down roots and sprout. So, the forbidden knowledge is, I think, what she's talking about? This persisted until the honored Lord of Khvarena, the divine bird of SUMERU, drank the primordial water left behind by our god, before transforming herself into Khvarena of all kinds and scattering across the land. From that day on, the Khvarena has taken the divine bird's place by defending this land, and those painful memories that leaked out there have been sealed by the Khvarena. What was left are these ubiquitous grey crystals. Though they seem no different from any other stone and may contain objects that have yet to be purified. The grey crystals in the area have increased of late. I suspect that this must have something to do with the sign of Apoosha's dark power. If we use Khvarena's might, we might get rid of these crystals. Do you have that power? Are you just a mini version of that? Possibly? If my senses do not deceive me, the wandering Khvarena should be nearby. Let's take a look around. A what? Huh? Okay.
Scatter!
Okay, the answer was not that. Oh, hello? So another rock thing. Oh wait, I do have a claymore user.
Yeah, make my escape.
Huh. It's giving me elemental energy.
The crystal melted.
Well then, I did not misspeak, did I? Khvarena wards the great earth. Cultivation grounds of the Order of Skeptics lies just up ahead. Okay, hi, dude. Oh, you're the leader. Hello. Lady Sorush, Khvarena's envoy, you have returned. Okay. Though it's taken much work on my part, the analysis of the documents regarding the rite of Chinvat will still be complete. According to my research, we only need to collect all the great songs of Khvarena next, and your great work may then be completed. Wait a moment, you two are outsiders. Yeah, whatever. Do not fret. They're Traveler and Paimon, my newly chosen Yasnapati, and his companion. They are here to witness my great work.
Hey, Paimon hasn't agreed to that yet.
Yasnapati, you say? Though I will not question your most astute judgment, I fear that allowing ignorant outsiders into this land before the rite of Chinvat is complete may have untoward effects. I know that the people of the Academia surely do not desire the rite's completion. Speak no further. I have my reasons for doing this. Well then, take that drum from before out, Traveler and Paimon. You bring out the drum, as agreed. A okay, there's a Y in there.
A Corbontes, you say?
Haha, yes! This is an important catalyst for the ritual needed to forge a lalupad between ourselves and the Paris. I have searched for many years for this, and to think it now comes to me. Ah, this is indeed a good omen for my future plans. Suddenly, you are talking like the... I'm mixing up all the voices today. It'd be good if the fates will also be with me when I lead the Order of the Skeptics to throw down the Academia and burn their House of Dana, or whatever they call it, to the ground. I probably can't let you do that.
Wow! What a way to casually paint yourself as the villain, huh?
Villain? Ha! The Academia are the true villains here, have no doubt of that.
I forgot my introductions. I'm Nasejuna, the Vijnanapti of the Order of the Skeptics, who we cultivate ourselves here. If you'd use our terminology of the academia, I would be the equivalent of a sage. But I doubt those pampered folk would take care much of what we at the margins call ourselves. You do not look much like those academia might send. We did take a commission from them, though. It's actually insane how he was like, I'm the equivalent of a sage in the same breath as I want to actively destroy a wealth of knowledge and set civilization back for 1,000 years. I mean, he has to equate it somehow, right? That's the only way he can, considering he's talking to us outsiders. Outsiders, asterisk slur. And you so were one of them after all, but it matters not. First of all, I'm not a sage or an academic. I just happen to do things for them sometimes. Even if the entire core of 30 were to be sent here, my plans could not be halted. Well, whatever your plans are, we sure didn't come to stop them, that's for sure. Ha! So they would all say, those treacherous lots from the academia, and when my guard's down, you'll stab me in the back. I think you're paranoid. Just like those people in the funny masks who try to skulk about and steal our academic tones. The who in the funny masks? They even dared to attack our honored envoy, Khvarena, Lady Sorush. Wait, are you talking about the Abyss Mages, or you're talking about the Fatui? Because it could be both. And they meet defeat in my hands, each one of them. I'm guessing those were the Fatui. Okay. The Fatui? I know not of what you speak, but they were city folk, so I doubt the academia would be far behind its shadows. We don't work with the Fatui. That's all I know. Do not look upon us some miserable few who inhabit the Tamir Mountains. We once such had members that all desert north of the Mount Damavan would struggle to hold us. It is only because of our harsh environment and the slander ostracism by the academia that we have been reduced to this. So they were actually ostracized 500 years ago? If it was not for the sage's souls and myself holding things together and the protection of Khvarena, we skeptics would have been reduced to nothing long ago. Sounds like quite the disagreement. Yeah.
Catherine said that you had your differences, but this sure looks to Paimon that you skeptics really hate the academia. As if several hundred other dialogue options did not tell us that in the first place.
Nah, say not hate, but rather that we simply cannot coexist. That is a line that I love, honestly. It's the willful ignorance for me. No, honestly. I don't know if they're choosing to not know of the outside world, but also considering the amount of like camps within the desert that kind of just like, no, we're gonna stick to ourselves. We're not gonna actually like branch out. Maybe that is a choice that they had. Maybe they wanted to do that specifically instead of to get, you know, indoctrinated by the academia, which is valid because the academia is a whole bureaucratic structure that not everyone might be able to align themselves with. When I was young, I did go there to learn and attempt to mend our differences, but they treated me like an outsider. So they were racist. Though they feigned politeness by calling us the branch of academia, this is not but a means to belittle us. It is said that our predecessors have a clash of ideals with them, and so chose to go into the desert to stand against the darkness themselves. From that day on, we have been holding firm in the war against defilement, defending our land, and what have those useless louses been doing in the meantime? Compared to those pampered pedants, we who combine thought, word, and deed far better deserve honor for our wisdom.
Paimon doesn't quite get it.
You only need to understand that conflict is the true nature of this world. How interesting you say that. Oh, I think I missed a line. Those sophists and their fancy darshans believe that the fate of all is inscribed in the skies, and that this is the supreme wisdom and truth. But look, the skies reflect defilement itself. Surely their truth then is an imperfect thing. This has some holes in it. Perhaps nothing is truly perfect. Ah, think you thus? Then we might yet be friends. If time permits, we may discuss this issue in more detail. I mean, the sky is a lie, so that's all we know. I haven't finished the quest, but I have a feeling that over the past 500 years, information has been lost, and the true reason they split in the first place has been lost in Nagarjanites. I mean, it's possible considering, like, in general, we don't have information about the 500 years ago calamity, you know, especially because the only people that we can really talk to about that time period are the Archons, and they're less than helpful 95% of the time. I think that's why maybe Sorush is so worried about not having someone sing their praises after they're gone, right? It's the same line that Zhongli has when it comes to the way of thinking, that someone needs to write the stories that have happened in the past, and that no one in the past were able to do so. I don't know. Weird thoughts. Nasuraya, this is not the time to talk about those things. Have you not seen how the gray crystals hem us ever more tightly? We do not extinguish the sign of Apaosha soon. Things will grow most perilous indeed. Well, speaking of the sign, I have stuff to do, I guess.
Right, that's right. We were tasked to fix this whole thing. But after all this talking, we still don't know what it's supposed to be.
Well, our plans also involve extinguishing that celestial mark. As for what it is, if it must be described as anything, let us call it the water's surface. Why are there so many allusions to water in this quest? We have Sorush, who kind of looks like the Oceanid. We have now the Apaosha being described as the water surface. There's a lot of hydro references for some reason. Fontaine, is that you?
The water surface? Your explanation's just making things more confusing.
The water's reflection, while an illusion, nonetheless hides the truth within itself. So it is with the skies. It's like a mirage. You've seen those before. Wait, is this an answer to the sky is fake theory? Like, are we gonna find this out during the quest?
That big hole up there in the sky is spookier than any mirage.
Well, it should be, for the celestial sign reflects an otherworldly hellscape. Long, long ago. Dari, Conria is also Dari, okay, once built a facility here that connected them to the realms beyond. During the great disaster, which they said the Dari had started, monsters swarmed from that very facility into the nations of the world. Did the Conries just open a portal to another world, and that's how all the Abyss Mages are here? The monsters tore opened a great rift that came to be called the Tunigi Hollow, and though they were sealed away with the new vein of the ancient tree, Irminsul, this mysterious sign appeared along with that. What sign reflects is that which lies beyond the dark rift, and though the monsters cannot enter to that through that illusion, it nonetheless radiates corrupt energies. Oh, okay. They say that our very first Vinjanapati extinguished that strange sign together with the Pari, but as the power of the impurity has strengthened over time, this ancient symbol has appeared again once more. Is the first Vinjanapati, right? Is that Lumine? Because it sounds like Lumine right now. And we should leave it be. Who knows? That hollow may truly reemerge one day and the ancient war will be reenacted. In truth, it might be interesting to live such exciting times. Why do you want to go to war?
What? No! That wouldn't be interesting at all!
Matters not. The SUMERU drank the Amrita left behind by our god, transmuting herself into limitless Khvarena. As the heir to the divine bird, solving this problem is the mission that we party have. I, Sorush, will surely leave behind a work of great enough to be her equal. Of course. Khvarena's envoy, and we, the Order of the Skeptic, shall surely help you see your duty through.
What's with all this talk about sacrifice? Is it really necessary to solve this problem?
Well, in truth, I don't know. All the documents regarding the sign of Apaosha have long been lost, and the traditions and rites surrounding it has also ceased to be passed down. If it had not been for me constantly looking at what documents were left, there might not have been any more left to know about the rite of Chinvat existed at all. According to my research, the Pari are the descendants of SUMERU, and should therefore also have the power to transform Khvarena to purify the land. And would you not say that the grand sacrifice to save the world on part of the divine bird's heirs very much suits our order's style?
What? That's so haphazard! Wizard! This sacrifice you're talking about doesn't sound like a small thing either. Why aren't we thinking of any other ways to solve this issue? I'm sure there's gotta be some alternative, right, Traveler? It's always been this way, hasn't it?
I am, yep, very good at my job, I guess. I've already said that you do not need to interfere. Simply witnessing my sacrifice shall suffice. It's something worth celebrating that we party should sacrifice ourselves to purify the earth.
Well, you say that, but
I would ask that you keep a respectful distance from that which you do not comprehend, outsiders. I mean, Nasajuna kinda is right. I'm not gonna lie. But since this is the case, well, I was planning to investigate the Tanigi Hollow to make preparations for the rite of Shinvat anyway. Why don't you come along? I trust that you also wish to see the scars left behind by the fissure that once led beyond our world's bounds. When you see it, I believe you shall understand.
Well, Paimon's kinda curious now, I guess.
A sound plan. In case I shall lead the way. After all, you would find it impossible to freely traverse this land where the Khvarena battles against impurity. My Yasanapati, follow me to the end. Watch me complete my mission. Oh, hello? Okay. New mechanics. Sorush, Bloomguard of the Paris. Exploration knowledge. Paris are the very mysterious creatures. As the Bloomguard of her race, Sorush can replace your characters to fly and move. When Sorush is in flight, your character will stay in place to await her return. While in flight, Sorush can ascend or descend, and can use the accelerate skill to increase her flight speed. Sorush cannot be too far from your character though. A Bloomguard should never abandon others after all. That is one way to explain a mechanic, sure. Sorush can call upon the special energies within items around which mysterious mayflies dance. Oh, it's a mayfly, okay. Press Sorush's interact skill to allow her to use her power to guide the might of the Khvarena. Hold her interact skill to cause her to stop and continuously channel Khvarena's might. During this time, you can control your characters freely. As a Pari, Sorush can also perceive some things beyond normal human sight. Oh, interesting.
Is that deep pit the Tungi Hollow that you were talking about earlier? These super huge crystals all over the place, even bigger than the ones we saw before! They look scarier too!
These were once huge trees that used to seal and subdue the creatures of the dark depths. The power of the defilement has corrupted them, warping them into such forms as you see now. Oh, so these were trees? I don't like that. They have a spiral pattern. Like, all the Abyss stuff has this, like, spiral pattern that we see in the chasm. The one that we see on one of the islands of Inazuma. I'm still waiting for the one in Mondstadt. Like, I'm pretty sure the Mare Javari is going to look something with a spiral pattern in this shape because it has something to do with the Abyss, maybe.
Since the monsters have been sealed, it sure doesn't look like anyone needs to sacrifice themselves again.
I don't know about that, Chief. That's why we must use the power of the Khvarena to reopen the way.
Hey, wouldn't that just release the monsters again? They took so much effort to seal too!
No. I mean that we must open the path to the sign of Apoosha. The way to the rift in the earth was sealed long ago, and it can never lead to the true darkness again. But that's exactly why the sealed rift does indeed connect to the illusion of the Abyss. We need only to use the great song of the Khvarena to stabilize the seal before initiating the rite of Shinvat to pass through the darkness and reach the sign. Okay, you're gonna have to explain the rite because I don't know what to do. This is the ritual performed by the Pari that will allow us to open the path through the darkness. It is said that the first Vinjanapati, Nagarjuna, and the Pari did just that. But we must first obtain the great songs and gather the power of the Khvarena in order to initiate the rite.
That's all well and good, but what will we do once we reach the side of the sign's on?
Suffer. I do not know what happens after that. I have encountered legends that our first Vinjanapati, Nagarjuna, was lifted to the heavens, where he used the divine power to extinguish the sign. But that, I feel, is mere myth. I believe that Khvarena's envoys will have some way. Since they can purify the defiling impurities, they must also have some way to extinguish the sign. Did Sorush not also say that she wishes to imitate the sacrifice of SUMERU? The world is built upon conflict and sacrifice, after all.
Well, that's what Sorush says, sure, but that's way too irresponsible of you.
Well, don't fret. Before the necessity of any sacrifice can be ascertained, we must still bring the great songs of Khvarena together. At the moment, we have yet to take even the first step forward.
Says the guy who's just been talking this whole time.
Well, basically, only the Pari have been chosen as Bloomguard can touch the great songs. But our current envoy, Lady Sorush, has yet to obtain that right. Oh. There, buddy. It's okay.
That's so? For all that bluster, you really are about that, huh, Sorush?
You dare speak to me like that, pale floater?
Well, Paimon isn't a pale floater!
By obtaining the Twin Horn Chaplet, she may become the Bloomguard, and being able to gather the power to the Khvarena. As such, she must first be acknowledged by Lady Zurvan, the first Pari. Oh, again? We're gonna have to meet, like, the original person? Huh. SUMERU really does have a thing. It's so weird seeing two Sarushes on screen, I just realized. She is a mighty Pari who once fought alongside her ancestors. It's even said that she was the very Pari who fought alongside the ancient heroes to subdue the embers of the abyss. But that elder of ours is utterly irresponsible. She refuses to acknowledge my dearest desire. I'm afraid there's nothing I can do about that. Still, even without the Twin Horn Chaplet, my sacrifice will suffice to accomplish this deed. Of course, I do not intend to doubt your desire to sacrifice yourself this way. If you're unable to perform the rite and pass through the Dark Hollow, your wish will not be fulfilled nonetheless. However, I do have a suggestion. Lady Sorush called you her Yasnapati, didn't she not? Why don't you go with her to the Varushaka Oasis? That's where Lady Zurvan may be found. Perhaps Lady Zurvan may yet change her mind should she see that we humans view Lady Sorush as the predestined envoy. Why aren't you going? Well, I'm her Yasnapati, or we've got a commission to complete. I'm still about this commission. This is the only method we have at the present to change our current situation, so please do go with Lady Sorush in the secret place protected by the Khvarena.
Oh, aren't you a sneaky one? Looks like you're the only person coincidentally out of a job.
Of course not. There's much I should do. For example, the preparations of the rite of Chinbot still must be done. I must also consult the words of the ancient scribes once more to ascertain the locations of the great songs. As for the Kori drum that you brought, I believe I may now form a connection with the Pari who sleep at present once more. Their awakening is necessary for the rite of Chinbot to occur. Regardless, I leave the matter of the Twin Horn Chaplet to you two. Once everything is complete, let us meet at the campsite along Tamir Mountains.
Oh, well, so we have to look for the Pari Elder, right? Well, let's hope she isn't as nasty as Sorush is.
Do you have, thoughts?
Hey!
I need to do some investigating first. Okay. Okay, he says the same lines.
Whoa! The crystal here looks like... Could this be one of the Waynute they've seen before? How did it get trapped here?
I don't like that it's all just pointing towards it. That's scary. So you call these children of ancient dragon that's a dragon? The Waynutes are dragons? I thought they were just big-ass earthworms. Still, it does not have a sinful form. Perhaps it was merely unlucky to have been caught in the crossfire and sealed here.
Well, maybe it's a good thing it's been sealed here. If not, it might just pop out of the ground and swallow us all in one go.
Apparently, Waynute are dragons. Huh.
I'll protect you, Paimon. Hey, Paimon knows that.
You two certainly look like you two get along well.
Of course. We're the best of buddies. I am definitely not going to betray Aether later.
But is it also not said that even the constant companions will fail to notice if the other was spirited away by a sprite? Spirited away by Studio Ghibli? These stories are quite common too, yes?
What are you talking about? Aether would never do that.
Ha! I merely jest. If you are bosom buddies, surely some idle jokes will not move you. We shall soon reach the Varushaka Oasis. Come, let us hurry. Paimon will betray us, and I solely believe that. If she doesn't betray us, she's going to die.
Oh, what the heck is that?
It's like, that's just, it looks like there's a large tree stump down there too. The energy is coming from it seems to be opposing the ooze in the sky, but Paimon doesn't know who or what that is. Let's go over and have a look.
Ah! I love it how it's the two, like, villain colors too. Purple and green.
Paimon didn't think that there'd be such a huge patch of green on the other end of the mountain. We were just in the desert too. How strange.
Impressive, is it not? It's our homeland after all.
Homeland of the Paris? So there'll be lots of other people like you here, right? You know what? Paimon's not all keen on going.
Should you not be excited beyond words?
The big tree stump over there looks like it's holding off some stuff oozing out of that big hole.
That is the Haravi Spoktum. Haravi Spoktum? The sacred form of the god that granted us Paris life. It is not just some large stump.
It's a god? What? We've seen other gods, but this is the first time we've seen one looking like that.
That's because our gods cannot be considered, alive. 500 years ago, our great god gave all to quell the power of the disaster afflicting this place. But she was stained with corruption and could not be reborn in a pure plane. Thus her divine consciousness continues to wander the mortal one. Our great god left us with the sacrifice Amrita, and the Lord of Vendur caused the Haravi Spoktum to grow from that, thus anchoring our god to this realm. The Varukasha oasis has been nourished by the Amrita, and even the Khvarena that defeats this earth gains its unending power by the grace of the Amrita.
But this god of yours doesn't look too well. She's been trying to hold out against the stuff coming out from that hole this entire time.
Hey yo, that's what she said. Her power maintains the seal over the Dark Hollow. I fear that the emergence of the sign is due to the attraction of that evil power. If it were not the presence of the Harav Spoktum, the defilement surging forth from that hollow would have infected the entire world. But it's also due to its performing this duty that the tree has deteriorated so much. I do not believe that I should ever bear to be reduced to that state. This is why I must leave a legacy of heroism before all to remember before it does happen.
Well, never mind that first. Let's go look for the Zarufan person, shall we? We get the chaplain and fix the sky real quick. That might make your god feel better too.
This is so nice. Also, this looks like the exact tree that's in the Avidia forest. It's so nice here. We'll be able to see the Elder once we get out of here.
You aren't getting nervous, are you, Sorush?
Impossible! Do not second guess me frivolously, pale floater. Genshin music's a gift. Yeah. It's beautiful. Genuinely, I feel like I'm gonna be heartbroken over this song. Like, this sounds like a song playing in the middle of a drama when something really, like, dramatic happens, like someone's breaking up with someone else, and they're just pouring their heart out to the other person, and all you can do is cry. Like, this is, like, I could see this playing in, like, the first 5 minutes of Up, and I would cry. Oh, you're so pretty! Wait. Can we talk about your color palette? Can we have you instead? Not to replace Sorush or anything, but like, look at how pretty that one is. Look at it! I would love a plush of this one.
Well, if it is Sorush, such a rare guest.
It's been a while, Elder Zerfan.
Elder? Well, if you call me that, then you should follow Paris norms and cease consorting with those humans whose hearts are heavy with the ulterior motives.
I haven't gone against our norms. I've only just made a contact with humanity to find a way to extinguish the sky fire, just as the divine bird did.
And that is why you have learned all that claptrap about sacrifice from the humans? We Paris care nothing for such foolishness.
Isn't it our duty as Paris to sacrifice ourselves in the battle against the defiling purity?
Awaits the call of destiny, Sorush. Only humans rush in blindly.
This destiny you speak of is a nebulous thing. I simply cannot be expected to sit and wait for it. I'm willing to wait for it.
And that is precisely the danger. The chaplet you see contains the highest authority over Khvarena. Is giving it to you, I may as well be handing the power of Khvarena over to those untrustworthy humans.
have more faith in me, Elder?
You two. Looks like we're being left out here, aren't we?
You think that they're related to ocean because they kind of look like mini ones? I mean, considering there's so many allusions to water in this quest, I wouldn't be surprised. Wise men say only fools rush in.
Also, it seems like Sorush loses that cocky attitude of hers in front of Zeruvin, huh?
She's probably just fond of some weird roleplay. Hey, yo, Aether. Hey, yo, the sass.
Those skeptics are all too happy to go along with her, huh?
Well then, little ones, you came for Sorush, yes? This is not a place that ordinary humans may visit lightly. Let me see. Well, you certainly aren't from the order of skeptics. Seem to be outlanders, in fact. Well, in matters of courtesy, I suppose you two shall introduce yourselves first. I don't ask humans for their names often, you know.
Paimon is Paimon, and he's Traveler.
We're adventurers who shuttle across Tibet.
Adventurers? So you're travelers then? Well now, I do think that I've seen a traveler much like you before.
Is it my sister?
This is the forbidden land of the Paris, paradise nourished by the Amorita, a shrine at which we pay reverence to our great god. Only heroes who have forged bonds with the Paris and pilgrims who have come to genuflect before our god may enter. I shall take it that you are Sorush's companions then. It's been several hundred years since humans last visited our Sea of Flowers.
That said, aren't there tons of skeptics living outside the desert? Don't they know how to enter this place?
I shall not permit such discourteous folk to enter our hidden realm. In the past, we indeed fight alongside our ancestors. We even lived here together. But many years have passed, and folly has grown strong amongst them. Even the traditional rites may have become utterly forgotten. None living amongst them can forgive a Laukta with the Paris. They should have been the ones to conduct the rite of Absor for the tree that suppresses the Dark Hollow, thus cleansing it of filth that stained it. Yes, the deterioration of the tree cannot be avoided, but if they had not neglected the rite and caused the seal to weaken, this terrifying sign would not have reappeared so soon. But human tradition is unreliable in this fashion. Compared to them, you are outlanders, blank slates as you are. Certainly, seem more dependable.
I'm not exactly sure if you're praising us or not, but we're here to...
I would guess that you are here about the sign in the sky. I doubt that anyone would notice our little nook if it were not for this great crisis.
Well, we were commissioned to deal with this large hole. Yeah.
Oh my, so it is as I guessed. It seems that even after so long, the short-lived race is just as short-sighted as ever. Still, if it were not that way, would you even need a Paris to act on your behalf?
Looks like the Paris are just as nasty as a whole.
Regardless, since human heroes have again graced our secret garden, it seems the gear of destiny have begun to turn once more. And you seem to be an interesting being too.
That takes me back. Once upon a time, I too traveled alongside humans as curious as you quell a calamity. Perhaps you really might equal great deeds. Well then, it's decided. I shall give you a chance. Two of you certainly seem more trustworthy than those blind and foolish skeptics. Elder, shouldn't you put your trust in me instead? No, because you're a bitch. As for that, you do know where Vashnu and Mihir are, right? Go bring them here. They'll be enjoying their beauty sleep right now. This will serve as proof of your trustworthiness, and I will be able to give the chaplet to you. Oh, Paimon knows! So this is the kind of seal that everyone needs to get together to break, and then we can get the chaplet, right? Such a published imagination. The chaplet can be given to you at any time, but to solve the issue of the sign of Aparosha, we will need their strength. Sorush alone will not be able to open the path through the Dark Hollow, not even with the chaplet.
This perhaps is another example of the wool of Thui. How interesting that you're talking about the wool of Thui just now.
Paimon doesn't really know what you're saying, but as long as we can get the chaplet, it's fine.
Indeed, Traveler, Paimon. Do help Sorush out, alright?
I don't need help. You're not very honest, Sorush, but since your elder said so, I guess we just have to listen to us.
Ooh, do you have thoughts?
Everyone hold hands.
You do not have thoughts. Last time we were convinced that was many years ago now. I do not know they still as they were before.
I see everything.
As it was by that one dude from One Direction. No one come for me. I don't remember his name right now. Harry Styles, that's the name.
That Thui! Ooh, she's dead!
Oh, let us go nearer. I feel that I cannot read. Also, can we talk about this is the exact tweet that was in Tsurumi Island before? Except it's pink.
It's you, Nasjuna! What are you doing here?
Honored envoy of Khvarena, and you two are Napati and his companion, I suppose. Wait, what do you mean, I suppose? We literally just introduced to each other, huh?
Just call us Traveler and Paimon.
Since I've been giving such permission, then allow me to call you by those names. Do you two still remember what I mentioned earlier about how we skeptics have always been searching for the Kori drums?
It was about them being important items from the ritual or something, yeah?
Well, I concede that the proper terms are not remembered. That is the essence of the matter, yes.
The two of you have been acknowledged by Khvarena's envoy, yet you still know little of our glorious history. I feel that you may lead astray by hearsays and heterodoxies from the forest. Allow me then to explain the true history of the Barsum and the Kori drums. I'll be honest, I'm not concerned. Yeah, this stuff that Yasuna says is even harder to understand than the stuff Sorush talks about. Paimon didn't catch any of it the first time. Oof. In that case, I'll say it more often, Nasajuna, until even one such as Paimon can remember every last word. In that case, let's hear it once, shall we? Traveler's a good memory. He'll be fine as long as he remembers. Long ago, our predecessors worked to quell the disaster that occurred in this land and formed profound friendship with the Pari. Barsum's familiar is a preference for music, so he crafted Kori drums for her. During the ceremony where our bonds with the Pari were made official, 5 drums had to be gathered and played according to the scores. Though the Kori drums are long lost, the drum scores have withstood the corrosion of the sandstorms. As you can see, they have been almost perfectly preserved. Words shall nary describe the true magnificence of this occasion. When the Kori drums sounded, all things reverberated in unison. It felt as if their sound could freely traverse space and time. Those who witnessed it were all shaken to the core. Even the elements themselves were stirred. Sounds like a very lively time, I guess. It is a shame that we skeptics failed to pass on our legacy, resulting in the loss of all the Kori drums. However loudly we cried out, Barsum's familiar would never again utter a word in response. Barsum's familiar? Is this the Renshu Sorush mentioned before? Is that who we were talking about? But why wouldn't she respond to the Order of Skeptics call? The Pari and the Order of Skeptics both value traditions and ceremony, so there is routine to our actions. They talk about tradition, but then they lost their drums. This is hardly a peaceful land. There's such things that would happen is little surprise. Okay. Seems like getting Rashnu back to Borukushada's oasis with us won't be easy. That is so. We'll need to collect all the Kori drums and play them according to the score. Thankfully, I've never once given up on searching the lost drums. I've been gathering the relevant clues even before your arrival. As one might have expected of you, Narasuda. There's no need to flatter me. After all, our Deva had not... My apologies. I referred to an elder amongst the Order of the Skeptics who left for SUMERU City to work on his light novels. The dreaded things. This heavy responsibility would have not have fallen to me otherwise. Wait, so who is that? He became a light novelist? He rambled on and on how wearing against the Yai Publishing House editor and the opponents of Genius Invocation TCG should be considered war. But if you ask me, he's turning into some ridiculous old geezer. But he's still an elder who knows more about our heritage than I do, so I have to ask him for information regardless of any disagreements we might have. He's reluctant to answer any questions that don't have to do with light novels and card games, though. It took me 3 whole questions to receive a single reply. Anyway, it took me a great deal of effort just to gather clues about the Kori drums. Yay, new clues! But Najastuna, if you had all the clues all along, why didn't you go look for the lost Kori drums yourself? That's an easy one to answer.
Traveler, it seems like you're not in the possession of a vision. That's right, I'm not. And yet, you're capable of bending the elements to your will. What an inevitable gift. Unfortunately, I wasn't blessed with such a gift. So it's good that you're here. I mean, we could save quite a lot of trouble for Lady Sorush with your help. Otherwise, I would have to make other arrangements. Just as I said before, it seems that even fate is on my side. Lady Sorush, and you two, please, come with me. Hidden treasures may be found closer by than we think.
That's strange. There's no path here at all. It seems like you're not all that good as a guide, Nazajuna.
There's signs of a rockfall. You're observant indeed, honored envoy. I've inclined to think that a monster activity caused the rocks to collapse and thus block this... Well, let's call it a path. But you may leave this to me, everyone. This problem only requires a little spark to solve. Ah, yes. For safety concerns, please stand back a bit. Nazajuna cleans up the stone crevice before putting a small package inside. An explosive! He fills the gap back up, retreats to a safe distance, and lights the fuse. The large rock blocking the way splinters into smaller pieces, and when the dust finally clears, the great gate appears in its wake. Well, that's it for those stones blocking the way.
Wait, why is there still a gate in the way?
Another gate to go through, huh? We used to be able to pass through. As for breaking the seal of the great gate, we may need your help, you two.
Well, guess that falls on us, huh?
Oh, riff hounds! Ew! 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 Disgusting! How dare you!
Here comes the catch.
Ah, look at it. So cute. Alright, in we go.
This place is full of gray crystals.
Oh. Nazajuna looks down a bit before collecting something and doesn't let me read the rest of it. It's not too far from what I expected. The mechanism that sealed the Dendrodrum was once here, but it's been destroyed. There might even be some notes here that show where the other Kori drums might be found. Oh, I am not doing this. After scouring the land for days, I finally found the Corbinites. Alas, I lack the strength to retrieve them. As such, I will record their locations here. There is no detailed information on the key of contents of the ritual. I've drawn the following interferences from the comprehensive review of the current body of research. Firstly, the element of Koribantes matches the element recorded in the drum score. This is obvious, but requires only a rudimentary understanding. Animo and Geo do not exist. Wow! Wow, Hoyo! The reason for this merits the further investigation. Secondly, the meaning behind the notation. Notation can be divided into 3 categories: empty, half full, and full. The hypothesis is that the musical notes refer to 3 different types of rhythms, mainly pause, light, and heavy. Thirdly, the order of reading. Unable to be determined. If a lost Kori drum is found, one can try to read it in the usual order, which is from left to right and top to bottom. Okay. I guess that's our script. As the elders put it, when the Kori drums were lost in a single night, the order... Oh, in a single night! Interesting. The order of skeptics was overcome with great grief. Losing the drums meant losing the bridge that connected them to the Boston's familia, and from then on, the young were never again able to listen to her teachings. This was a grave incident indeed. That seems like sabotage, if I'm going to be honest. Great efforts were made by all to search for the drum thereafter, but a few gains were made doing the obstruction posed by the defiled energies. According to the elders, this one is one of those old locations. As you've seen, without the power to combat the brute might of the defilement, those who cannot wield the elements and those who have not obtained the trust of Khvarena's envoy are unable to reach this place. Our Deva also attempted to retrieve the Dendrodrum here in his youth, but he did not succeed, and thus has been silent about the matter ever since. A sense of responsibility, perhaps, or was it the pride that closed his mouth?
You When you said that the Order of Skeptics had a terrible relationship with the Academia, Paimon thought that you'd just all stay here. Now that there's a big hole in the sky, never mind coming back to help out, don't you think that's kind of weird that he's just over in SUMERU City writing his novels and playing his cards?
Perhaps he can achieve in fantasies what he could not in reality. Oh my god. I mean, listen, some of us just like escapism, you know?
You mean writing the story of his failures to a light novel, but changing the ending? How is that supposed to solve a real-life problem?
I wonder, right, if this person knows anything about the Irminsul restructuring, and if the light novel is supposed to be like an allegory. You know, the same way one of the witches of the Hexen Circle were trying to like essentially inscribe tales of the past, but through novels like Tales of the Six Pygmies and stuff.
Well, Paimon thinks that sticking together is our best chance of fixing the sky hole problem. It concerns Sorush too, after all.
Your concern, Paimon, is rather wasted on one destined for so grand a sacrifice as I. Or perhaps I should say that evaluating the choices and fates of others is itself an overly prideful act.
Paimon's just... Traveler, help Paimon out here!
We're just here to complete a mission.
Shouldn't we be saying we can't just let you be?
Forgive me my saying so, but such thoughts might be a little unprofessional for adventurers and specialists. Okay. Regardless, now that we know where the Kori drums are specifically, we need to retrieve them all. No, I don't want to do that. Although the trial here has been destroyed, it may not be the case in other places. Not the puzzles. Whether they are or not shall be little issue. Let us leave this task to my Yasanapati. There should be no issue of someone of his caliber, no?
Of course! We're professionals, you know!
In that case, you can find the other Kori drums as long as you follow these notes. I leave that to you two. Good luck.
Right! Traveler, remember to record the drum scores in the stone walls. They'll definitely need them at some point.
I love that we're also inscribing things into walls the same way that the Aranara did that to... about the,
I'm out of here.
the Golden Nara, like 500 years ago.
Let's see. Next, we just need to put the Kori drums back in their original places before performing the piece according to the scores on the stone walls, right? Rashna will definitely be happy to answer us if she hears her favorite music.
Do excuse my presumption, but the ritual that bound the Order of Skeptics to the Puri is one of great significance. I think that it would only be proper that the Order of Skeptics regulation is Vijnanapati, that is to say myself, were to preside over it.
Huh? But we're the ones who got all 5 Kori drums!
Even if you are Lady Sorush's Yasnapati, I believe that this is out of line, or should I call this prideful presumption upon her favor? Lady Sorush is Khvarena's envoy. She might have behaved more amicably to the two of you on account of the aid in fulfilling her destined mission. Yet, but this is a manifestation of her virtue, and not any credit of yours. Do not forget your place. Give praise and stand in awe of her every action as you should.
That's what you say, but even though Sorush always acts high and mighty, Paimon doesn't think that she'll all that great, or that distance from us.
That does not sound like something that shall be written into a hymn of praise. Well, I'd say it's praise enough by Paimon's standards. Well, what about you, Traveler? Do you want to play the Kori drums and awaken the familiar of the Barsum for me? Nazajuna can do it. I'm lazy. Ah, sensible person, I see. After all, such an important ritual has indeed been left in the hands of ones who understand our traditions the most and who occupies the most suitable position. Silence! I did tell you before that Pari's word is final. Doubt not my judgment. As you will. Oh, he's jealous. Traveler, I propose to give you and no one else this honorable task. Do you accept? You need not speak in such a whining manner, Sorush.
That's right. If you want to ask Traveler for help, just say it. I'll leave it to you or something. No need for all this weird talk.
This is not weird talk. These are words that befit a Pari's stature. Well then, I shall take it that as your acquaintance.
If you say so, Sorush, then leave it to us. Just relax, Nazajuna. We'll know the Kori drums are very important. Traveler's not going to ruin them or anything, unless suddenly something breaks, and then that's not our fault.
Alright, new puzzle. Line the Kori drums up according to their attributes. Haha, I'm gonna have to read, huh? Okay, so each one has some type of marking on the back. Half. 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 And then heavy. Right? Okay. So, as long as we know the notation, then that's fine. Light. Heavy. Blank. Heavy. There we go. It's just like reading music. It's easy. We love using our degrees in a video. Exactly. Imagine having a music degree and this is all that comes up for it. It's fine. Light. 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 Heavy. Easy. Musical notation who? Who knows how to sight read? It's me. Light. Empty. Light. Heavy. Light. Empty. Light. Heavy.
Yeah.
There it is!
Phew! Phew!
Oh, she's so pretty! Wait. Why does this give me Hatterina vibes? Wait. I love the hat. Ah, Barsum's familiar has entered our call.
This must be Rashnu. Don't you think she seems kind of tired, though? Looks like we might need to help her out somehow.
This is Rashnu indeed, but perhaps we can have a nice meal together?
That's right. Rub, meats, veggie, sweet and salty. Ooh, what should we get? Actually, hang on. Do Perry enjoy human food at all?
Perhaps a repeat performance might do.
Oh, noisy. So sleepy. I thought this might go differently. You know, like a moving reunion after many years? Not gonna happen? You're Sorush. I recognize you.
That's right. And this is ein Yasnapati, traveler, and his companion Paimon. And that is Nasuraya, the Order of Skeptics.
The skeptics. Yasunapati? I do not wish to know about these human affairs. Humans and their drums, so noisy. I threw them off into different places so I could enjoy sleep in peace.
Oh, the scent of lies.
Well, that wasn't Paimon's fault!
How? But your documents recorded this so clearly. Nor did Lady Sorush say anything against this. You must have slumbered too long here, Rashnu, muddling in your memory of these affairs. Surely the scattering of the Corbinites was meant to select those who might clear the trials. But those who could not solve such a small problem involving unfit to call themselves Yasanapati, or how would they aid me in my great work of extinguishing the sign of Aposha?
The sign? I'm so tired, but this is no time to sleep.
Yes, you see, Traveler truly deserves the title of Yasnapati. He has helped me immensely, but this help alone is not enough. Rashnu, I need yours as well.
I get it. It was Zervin who...
She too approves of me, of course. Alright, Rashnu, will you come with me to Borukasha Oasis?
Well, it is not impossible.
Barsum's familiar, please wait. I have many queries regarding the skeptics' traditions.
Human business. Later, perhaps. We can talk later. Perhaps after I sleep for a bit. Maybe then.
Narsuraya, do you not have other things to attend to? We can save your business with Rashnu for another day. Yes, I will return to the camp to accomplish that which I should. Ah, yes. He is gonna be a villain at the end, I feel like, because we've just been overstepping his bounds every single time.
that usually is a signifier for, you know, being a villain at some point.
No, Paimon kind of feels bad for Nasajuna right now.
I'm afraid there isn't something that we can butt into.
Yeah, Nasajuna and Sorush have known each other for a long time. Can they settle this stuff between them, can't they? Whatever the case, if you'll come with us for Rushuka Oasis Rashnu, Sorush will be one step closer into getting the chaplet. Together? Now?
Well, we'll meet there again later.
Good. Then I shan't have to think about what I should say on the way.
She is very cute. I love her design. Little mushroom hat is so cute.
Are you sure we're going the right way, Sorush?
Stop making such disgraceful noises. Would I lead you wrong? Pale floater. You stand to learn from our Yasnapati and his unflinching calm. It's because I can't talk and Paimon talks for me, so I don't say shit. To be honest, I'm somewhat nervous on the inside. It's just the fluorescent purple mist that totally isn't part of the abyss, you know?
Exactly! Just looking at that big mass of stuff over there is pretty scary already!
Such trivial trials. They pale in comparison to the sacrifice I must offer up later. Ah, I misspeak. You, pale floater, are not as bold as my Yasnapati, but perhaps one may consider retreating at the slightest sign of danger a wise choice.
Right, that's right. Traveler's in charge of being brave, while Paimon's in charge of being smart.
I don't know about that one, Chief.
That's why we make the best of buddies, after all.
Nice going, buddy.
Right? Paimon thinks that was a good rejoinder, too.
But I did not give you the title for naught, Yasnapani. Do not praise unto my bravery more prey.
Well, Traveler's known Paimon longer. While he's not being your Yasnapati, there's nothing wrong with him sparing some time to praise Paimon. Anyway, don't sweat the smart stuff, Sorush. You're not really doing anything that especially needs praising right now, are you?
My great work is not for the present, but for the future. Still, at this very moment, you're being given the privilege to witness where it all begins.
Well, if you say so. Speaking of which, we're here to find...
Mihir. That foolish familiar of Thorn. She must be suffering right now.
Wait, is she trapped in there? We've gotta go save her!
Power of the purple mist beneath us shares the source of the demons of Dev. Mihir's task should have been to keep such wicked powers from running rampant upon this earth. On the sign of Aposha, the powers of the two forces warring here ebb and flow. We Pari should be dauntless, willing to fight till we ourselves are torn to shreds. But Mihir? Ha! I would wonder if she searches for some way to protect herself even now, conducting some loathsome struggle.
Wait, aren't you two allies? Are you really gonna leave a fellow Pari to her fate like that?
You wouldn't be able to rescue your comrade by any chance, would you?
Huh, you're right! The problem could very well be something not even Sorush can solve.
It is no difficult matter saving Mihir. Perhaps I might even call it trivial, but we Pari have our mission and we also have different ideals. We must have found some position equal to seclusion and defensibility before even using Grey Gates to seal both the demons and herself in. You could still move freely. Aha! She'd be like that Khvarena, begging for aid and prostrating herself before all and sundry to earn pity. Can Khvarena even prostrate themselves? Prostrate themselves is a phrase. It's just a phrase.
Maybe if they try hard enough?
You plebeians miss the point. All the same, the state of this place tells me that she shall not hold out longer by herself. How pitiful. Ah, what horrible sight. To be as Mihir was, corroded in filth, falling from spotless to sinful state, yet desperate to preserve herself. Had the elder not bade me come...
So after all that, you do care!
Hardly! I merely wish to see if that useless fool has regrets or not. If she turns back on us and accepts our aid, then perhaps I shall spare her a moment or two. After all, the flower and the stars of song and praise shall seem less radiant if the green leaves are not there to serve as its foil. The following labor shall be little, but is still a radiant shard. Yasnapati mine, record it down with reverent heart and use this mote of shattered light to grace your mighty hymn.
We can talk about less important stuff later, Sorush. Let's figure out how to disperse that purple mist first.
Less important, you say? Huh. Then so be it. Fearful sinful form renders her unable to fulfill her duty, but the thorns remain. So long as I tend to them with all my strength, it shall only take a brief moment to scatter his purple smoke. As for the downward path, let's follow that wandering Khvarena we just saw.
Well, if Sorush's so sure, let's try getting closer then. Oh, right. If you feel uncomfortable, then hold your breath. Well, Paimon isn't all that good at doing that herself, so you better make it quick, Sorush.
Underestimate me not, pale floater.
Oh, hello? Who's that? Wait, this is Michiel? Is she stuck? It seems like the purple mist has already made your way back there. What do we do now, Sorush? Can't we just do what we did earlier? You know, give some of your power to the thorns and free her?
Why, of course I shall save her. After all, she doesn't seem so very pietous, infested with the corruption and helpless as she is. This isn't the best time to throw shade on her.
Exactly! We've got to save her and quick!
Yet I have not heard her repent. I shall hear from her repudiation of her obdrussy, and her supplication for my aid.
Oh, come on now! Are you serious? We don't have time for that kind of talk. Paimon thought you were just speaking in anger.
Oh, ew. I have to say one of these two lines. Ew. Lovely, invincible Lady Sorush, shall ye not hear my counsel?
You sure that's gonna work?
Well then, if you two say so, my Yasnapati, after all, fulfilling your wishes once in a while is indeed within the purview of one's exalted, so as I.
Huh? Seriously? Paimon wishes you listen to her too, Sorush.
She better properly thank us later. She's so pretty. The two different the eye colors. Wait. She's so pretty.
Awesome. Are you alright, Mihir?
Well, I suppose she is alive, if barely, and covered in sin and weakened to the extent that she may only defend herself. It's all thanks to you, Lady Sorush, I guess.
Sorush, who took the humans for companions. Sorush who lost her way.
It sounds like there's some secret meaning behind her words.
Do not get near her, lest her defilement that emanates from her touches you. It seems that she has not only forgone a heart of gratitude, but has lost much of her intellect, or she would not use such baseless words to reproach me.
Thank you, Sorush. If not for you and your companions, I would have needed much time to gather my strength. And even then, I'm unsure if I could have stood against the rising filth on my own. The sign of the Aposha could be seen all too clearly, even from the bottom of the valley, but thorns can only crawl upon the ground, never to reach the sky, not even in the reflection of the skies on the earth.
Of course. After all, I'm the one who's destined to make sacrifices to extinguish the sign. I must add that Traveler is no companion of mine, nor is Paimon. He is my Yasnapati, a willing instrument recording my great work. Yeah, I would call off that description a few degrees off in reality.
That's right! We're companions, aren't we? Just saving me here isn't enough to complete whatever Zervin asked us to do, right?
Yeah, so you have something to request of me, Sorush.
What? Your senses have gnarled into tumbleweed during your imprisonment and departed the Tamir Mountains into the nameless dunes? It is by my magnanimity in not remembering past slights by my Yasnapati has been given to leave record in your name within the hymn that sings my praises. Your sinful form stained with defilement should never otherwise have appeared in those stanzas. You should thank me, Mihir. If it were not for our elder, whatever. We do this to obtain the twin-horned chaplet. For that reason, you must return with me to Burakushata Oasis.
Speaking of which, Sorush, you keep talking about stained with defilement this and sinful form that. What do you even mean?
It is the duty of us familiars of the thorn to prevent defilement from spreading across the earth and guard against its corrosion. When we battle against the demons of death, injury is nigh unavoidable.
And if you had been shattered in battle with them, that might have been worth a song, but stained as you are, you hardly be counted as one of us. Were not for my coming to your rescue, you would have likely to continue some pathetic struggle here, till the world forgot you and you utterly faded away.
Those are words of the human who has befriended you, Sorush.
He is no ordinary human, he is the Nasuraya of the Order of Skeptics. Ah! So that's how it is. Sounds like a matter of wounded pride.
That's right, calling someone sinful because of that. Mahir, you poor thing!
This one's duty is not a pitiable act, nor is struggling to perform that duty for a while longer shameful.
Never mind the matter of the elder. I have not fallen so low as to require your judgment. Rather, it is you who should thank me for rescuing you.
Oh, come on, Sorush! Stop yelling at an injured person! Well, Mahir was wounded in combat, so that counts, right?
All right, Sorush, you will understand, or she will never obtain the twin-horn chaplet from Zurvan. But she says my sinful form is unacceptable in the eyes of the other party. I cannot return to the Rorschach oasis in this state.
Merely performing a cleansing pilgrimage, and it will be all well.
Cleansing pilgrimage? Will that take a long time? Will it be dangerous?
You need not be so concerned as the details of Mahir's deeds. After all, there is little room for her to be in the praises that shall be sung of me. She knows this road well, but in her weak and helpless state, were she to be attacked along the way, I doubt there'll be anything left of her.
What Paimon's hearing is that things will be fine as long as we escort her. Don't worry, we're very experienced in that sort of thing.
Not an escort mission, no! How far do we have to walk?
Speaking of that, why didn't you help me here earlier, Sorush? If you lent a little power to the thorns, you could have done that even without our help, right?
This is my duty, not hers.
But shouldn't you help each other at times like this?
Each party has their own mission, and just like this cleansing pilgrimage, we must undertake those tasks ourselves. Missions and duties all have something they belong to. We cannot allow the dialogue to be read because Mihoyo won't let us actually read anything. Oh?
We're finally out of here! You can already see the Harvey Spooktum.
And we can also see the sign of Apaosha. We won't be able to relax till we manage to fix the crisis above us. That's terrifying still.
That's true, but let's prioritize escorting Mahir on her cleansing pilgrimage so she can regain her spotless form and return to her companion's side. But isn't it awful that she's been fighting all this time? Now that she's injured, she can't even go back.
One who clings to life in self-protection despite being filled with such filth is unworthy of a Yasnapati's chronicle.
What are you saying, Sorush? Mahir's been fighting all by herself to fulfill her mission all this time. She's been very brave. We should remember what she's done and praise her for it.
Only humans require such thing as courage. We Pari have no need of it.
Sorush speaks the truth. We Pari have known our purpose since birth, and only live to serve that purpose. We do not require remembrance. Perhaps being forgotten might even be for the best.
But...
The day comes when none of us mention it again, then surely the entire earth must have been purged of all calamity. There will be no more sacrifices to be sung of, for there will be no more sufferings to be remembered. I believe that shall be a wonderful day.
Mahir!
From that day is yet distance. Not before I make those sacrifices shall extinguish the sign of Apaosha at least. Let us not waste any daylight here. We should complete the cleansing pilgrimage as soon as possible. We should not allow this preamble to delay us so. I am the protagonist of this hymn. I alone.
Thank you for walking this difficult path with me. I believe that the road shall be far smoother ahead. Would you like us to continue on together?
I think she's the last one, so let's go together.
That is also fine by me. You silently escort Mahir back to Vorukasha Oasis. Oh, the music is so pretty.
We're back! Guessing your cleansing pilgrimage is done, huh, Mahir? And that means your defilement issues have been solved, right?
I have indeed completed the cleansing pilgrimage, but it couldn't have been done without your aid. The wind and waters here are good, and wondrous energies cycle here, but now there is no need to worry about the defilement.
Yeah, this place sure is better than the valley full of purple mist. It's definitely got that soul-purifying feeling to it.
Purifying? Indeed.
That was easier than Paimon thought. Now that Mahir's clear of this defilement, other Pari aren't gonna reject her anymore, right? You can finally take a rest after all the trouble you went through, Mahir.
And Sorush is now closer to obtaining the chaplet as well.
That's right! Everyone wins!
A fitting end for Mahir, perhaps, but not for me. My ending will not be something so ordinary or peaceful, or as insignificant as you, pale floater.
Paimon isn't insignificant! Well, not that Paimon's very heavy or anything either.
My end shall be a glorious radiant, like that of the divine berg SUMERU. I shall split into the infinite motes of Khvarena, cleansing the world of its impurity. That which Mahir has done cannot be compared to what I shall yet accomplish. Yet there were only one SUMERU, and there's only one Sorush. There's no need to imitate others. There has to be a way that doesn't involve sacrifice.
Paimon thinks so too. You don't have to be in such a hurry to sacrifice yourself. We can think of something else together.
You speak empty words, born of your witlessness. My mind is made up. My heart set. I will not be moved. Okay, bye then.
Paimon doesn't get Sorush at all. Why does she insist on sacrificing herself to deal with the sign? And why is she so cold to Mahir?
Well, the way things are looking right now, Mahir's the only one with deeds to her name.
So what you're saying is Sorush hasn't done anything yet? If you think about it, Mahir's been doing her best to protect the land from corruption, but Sorush...
I say she's pretty anxious about that.
Paimon gets it now. Sorush is worried that if we praise Mahir, we won't do the same for her afterward, so she wants to do something even greater. Oh, come on! Isn't she just afraid that Mahir will steal her Yasnapati? She doesn't need to worry about that. We're born flatterers, aren't we? Let Paimon think. Let's put 4 lines of praise for Sorush in that hymn or whatever she says going on about, and 2 for Mahir. That way, everyone wins. Hee hee.
Well now, this is Sorush and her Yasnapati. You sure did come back quickly, and while this might sound rude, you have succeeded my expectations. Whether it be foolish Mahir or ignorant Rashnu, I have personally saved them and brought them back to our sea of flowers. You will see me in a different light now, I trust, Elder.
Paimon thinks it's more accurate to say that we saved them together. Traveler put in lots of work too.
You speak too much. I was planning to elevate you too in the position of my Yasnapati, but if you will be so petty, pale floater, it seems I must reconsider my decision.
Oh, actually, never mind. Who wants to be your Yasnapati anyway?
Now it may seem strange to say so, but I believe myself and my Yasnapati to be of the same root and stem, indivisible. And just as the heroes of legend should have many helpers, my Yasnapati's work shall also count for my glory. It also goes without saying that a Pari who shall do such a supreme deed as I will not peddle in the foolishness that is stealing another's credit. Therefore, Yasnapati mine, feel free to add your deeds to the hymn, for thus shall my great deeds seem all the greater for it. I think we're taking this a bit too far.
That's right! We are quite used to you talking like this, Sorush, but Sir Van's right over here looking at us like we're a bunch of idiots!
Then let us not speak of things unrelated. Just as we agreed before, Elder, can you give me the twin horn chaplet now, yes? Oh, we did, but I can't give you the chaplet. Wait, are you going back on your word? Now, the chaplet is a symbol of Khvarena's recognition. How can it be given away on private whims? And this, the countless notes of Khvarena's created by the transformed guide bird. Only we, Paris, have been blessed with intelligence, and thus that we are able to communicate with the remaining consciousness within the mother tree and guide the power of Khvarena. Not all Pari may possess such authority. Only the Bloom Guards, those who prove worthy successors to the divine bird's aspirations, have yet the courage to see that wish through, may gain the chaplet, the crown that contains wisdom. Come then, pray along with me to the invincible Khvarena. If you have been acknowledged, then our God will grant you the chaplet himself.
Zurvan recites the words of an ancient hymn and Sorush joins her. It is as if 1,000 birds sing out all at once, and 100 flowers respond. Oh! That's the crown? Oh, hello?
Oh, so the chaplet just grows out of your head. Well, this doesn't go as we thought, but I guess you got your twin horn chaplet now, Sorush.
You look much more reliable than before. I don't know about that one, Chief. Aha, of course! I am the destined Bloom God, after all. Now, I only need to offer myself as a sacrifice to extinguish the sign of Aposha.
And there you go, ruining our impression of you. Right away. But since you got the chaplet, Sorush, now we can go find that great song of Khvarena, right? Remembers Nazajuna saying that we'll need to collect enough of those great songs if we want to perform that rite of his, and then we can pass through the darkness. But who knows if his words can be relied on or not?
This is the rite of Chimbat. Now, is this Nazajuna you speak of from the Order of Skeptics? To think that any such human remembers that rite. Although, I thought that it all been lost. I did once travel alongside human heroes to cross the darkness through the rite and cleanse the impurities, tainting the mother tree.
Hey! Looks like he wasn't mistaken then.
But when that happened, I was the one who personally used the Khvarena to repair the seal that held the darkness at bay. Later, I was the one who fused the strongest Khvarena collected there into 5 great songs, which I used to purify the land. Skeptics should not have knowledge of the great song's existence if they relied merely on traditional records.
Maybe Nasajuna's just that interested in researching documents? Maybe there are some documents he found elsewhere that you don't know about, Zurvan!
That would make him all the more suspicious. As I understand it, there are indeed others who will be interested in the great songs. All the same, with you here, I believe such small matters should be no obstacle. In any case, Sorush has only just obtained the chaplet and cannot collect enough Khvarena. If we wish to conduct the rite of Chinvat now, we will need the power of the great songs. That time, after I first scattered the monsters that had invaded our sea of flowers, the great songs were scattered across the land. Only one was hidden by me within the waters of Sunyata Lake here, kept away by a future in time of need. Now that Sorush has obtained the authority to touch the great songs, you can first go to obtain this one. As for the rest, you shall have to seek them out yourself. Safeguard them well. Do not let them fall into the hands of suspicious people. I would also ask you to take care of Sorush for me. Though she may have attained the knowledge of the Khvarena, I fear that wisdom and intelligence have never been prerequisites for becoming a Bloom God.
Oh, something weird came out from the lake! Is that the great song of Khvarena? You know, it kinda looks cute, actually. It's a lot bigger than all the Khvarena we've seen previously. Maybe you could just call it the Great Khvarena, for short. Paimon didn't think something this cute would be this good at cleansing impurities, though.
Well, Sorush is much the same. Pleasing to the ear those words are not, but I shall take it that you praise my majesty nonetheless.
Oh,
Well, that's one great Khvarena down. That I need to stop rolling it so far. Next we just...
Wait a moment. We don't know where the rest are, do we?
No need to fret. I've already commanded Nasuraya regarding this matter. He already knows where the other 4 may be found. We need only have him guide us. Well, do you doubt my judgment? Yes.
Paimon just thinks that Nasujuna's documents aren't all that reliable.
This is different from the matter of the drums. All locations of the great song Khvarena were not found by consultation of the skeptics' traditions, but through Nasuraya's own painstaking studies. Apart from the ones locked within the ruins, I have personally checked the rest. There'll be no errors. Rest assured, Pale Floater, I am destined to be Bloomguard now. Would I make such mistakes?
Alright then. Paimon's not very reassured, mind you, but we can always go ask Nasujuna first and stuff. Didn't he say he'd meet us at the camp?
Such considerations are unnecessary. Yours is to simply follow me and record mine accomplishments. Lady Sorush, your present form is most astounding indeed. Gazing upon your mighty form, I know in my heart that you must have been crowned the Bloomguard of the Paris, acknowledged by all. Startled not human, this was my calling from the beginning. Of course, such majesty is only to be expected of his honored envoy, one who shall obtain the great songs of Khvarena, and extinguish the sign of Apaosha. Indeed, your words are most suited to be inscribed in the hymns that shall be written in mine honor.
Nasujuna is still his usual self. I'm not sure how to feel about this.
Ah, yes, Yasnapati, Paimon, you two deserve thanks in this matter. Though your endeavors are not but the afterglow of the envoy's mighty works, your labor in Lady Sorush's successful obtaining of her crown shall not be voided.
That's not how it went, buddy, but we'll just take this as your way of saying thanks.
Haha, our mission now is to search for the great songs of Khvarena, and then the long-awaited rite may be performed. Speaking of great songs, they are inextricably linked to the destiny of the skeptics. Is it story time again?
But Zervan said that you guys shouldn't know about the great song's existence, you know?
Unless you stole it from someone. Yes, it is indeed true that the ancient rites have stopped being passed down through our order. If I'd rely solely on our traditions, I suspect even the rite of Chinvad might still be shrouded in mystery. But I gained access to a large batch of long-lost documents from a very learned scholar. That was where I learned about the great songs. Those documents recorded a great number of things that the traditional hymns of our order were never written of. That also inspired me to desire to reform our order.
That doesn't really help, you know. Your traditions are always pretty suspect. How are we supposed to trust these documents then? They might have come out of nowhere for all we know.
Enough! These sideshows are not fit to be written into my songs. If you wish to tell the truth from falsehood, then let us go and see for ourselves rather than quibble here. Why, if I do not offer myself up as a sacrifice to save this land soon, those who come after may read these texts and suspect I was the spirit of laxity. No, how could that be? I do not believe that any would hold such contemptuous thoughts. You know what would be funny? If Sorush ends up not being able to sacrifice themselves, and instead Nasujuna is the one that sacrifices themselves for the whole situation that happens.
Paimon thinks that you just want to hurry up and collect those great Khvarena, Sorush. Wait, since when did Paimon become your translator?
To think that you, Pale Floater, should understand my thoughts best. Since it is your command, Great Envoy, allow me to lead the way. Seems like you have obtained some of the great songs. It is just as well, then, that I've discovered the locations of the remaining 4. Although I have not been to those underground ruins myself, I am as familiar with them as I am with this camp. That seems like an overstatement, but okay. Ha! Well, the great songs are items that I do desire to win, especially after all that effort. Well, let's not speak of unrelated matters. Come with me, everyone. Seems like the Dari ruins were the great song... Blah, 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 blah. Okay, please open the...
This is not the end.
Bye, Aether, I guess. Nah, Not the unalive counter. That's not my fault. That's not my fault. They put in a cutscene. Yeah, I don't like that. That is a giant ruin guard eye. Behold, the moment of destiny is at hand. Now you're sounding like a villain, and also the camera is turning in a circle, which means there's something happening.
It's just a normal mechanical door.
I meant to say that as long as we open this mechanical door, we will gain access to the ruins. Ah, this is my first time entering the Dorian ruin, you know. It's so surprising that I might be excited.
You sounded so confident earlier that Paimon thought you must have explored loads of ruins.
Well, I can't claim to have personally explored them, but with this copy of Renee's investigation notes written as it is by an excellent scholar of ancient histories, it is though I were there in the flesh. What? Notes? Have you never heard of it? I thought only one sequestered with a distant desert such as I would not have heard such a brilliant scholar. These notes contain lots of records left by the people of Dari. According to the author, he once discovered knowledge that surpasses mortals in these ruins.
This sounds harder to believe by the moment.
Leaving that aside for the moment, now that we have these notes, entering these Darian ruins should be a simple matter. Right. Because Dari equals Conrian in this case. If you don't believe me, let's test this. For example, if we like to open this device, there we go. Turn the gears such that all 3 types of runes are displayed. Ensure that the square rune is connected to the triangular rune at the bottom without changing said triangle. Simply do as I instructed and we should be fine. Sure. Looks like we finally reached the heart of these ruins. Now then, as one amongst us who has done a fair amount of research into the Darian ruins, allow me to tell you all about it. Please, explain.
That's a special tool we'll use for later.
Honestly. According to the notes I have, this was once a proving ground for where Darians would conduct research and tests. The great song of Khvarena we seek is at the deepest part of this facility. I don't like that. If we want to reach it, we'll first have to, Okay, so it's putting the energy blocks in various places, but I don't like that. Oh, you're making me think, and I don't like that. There's some notes in the corner of these schematics. I have drawn up these schematics based on structural diagrams of the workshops left within the ruins by the Conrians. The information regarding the Khvarena are, in turn, annotations I made based on a mix of on-site examinations and logical deductions. These Khvarena life forms were able to delve into an underground location where few humans might be found. Assuming that there is no heretofore, again, unknown greater power pulling their strings, we can deduce that they too at some point had a will of their own. Just like the Jinni. Although the research in the Khvarena has only just begun, I believe that the reliance of this power on a specific ecology means that we need not expend too much time looking for it.
You're just saying that you've done your homework and you're fumbling around already?
Well, the makeup of these ruins really is too complicated. I doubt anyone could fully understand the principles behind the mysterious machines that our Darians use from their descriptions alone. Let me see. There we go. Looks like our current position is that of the control hub for the entire proving ground. I hate that. If we wish to reach the Great Song, we must first activate the entire ruin's control mechanisms. To do so, we have to solve an energy issue. Oh boy, it's more energy blocks that I don't want to do. On the contrary, it seems that they use the form of energy known as azosite. Okay, so we have a name for the blocks now. It was drawn from pure elemental energy before being formed into blocks. Is it possible that the azosites are the remnants of elemental beings and they farmed them, the Conrians farmed them for energy for the ruin guards? That means as long as we find an energy block of this kind, we'll be able to provide energy to these cores, after which we should be able to settle any other problems with ease. That sounds troublesome. Now, if we can only simply settle this through combat. Oh. Meta impact who? Sorush is actually meta impact? Hoi! Audio, you can't just call out your player base like this. I'm just saying. I guess let's begin then. And also, this seems familiar. Again. Ah, ready to go, I see. That's the envoy Yasnapati indeed. In that case, I will leave the work for searching for the energy blocks to you. This is schematics that shows the layouts of the proving ground. I'm sure you'll put it to good use. I'm gonna get so lost. In the meantime, I have some other things I must examine. Which is sus. As such, I'll wait for you to return here. With the honored envoy by your side, this shall be child's play. I know it. If you encounter any issues, just examine these schematics a bit more closely. He really said, if you don't get it, read. Hey? You're sus? Do you have thoughts? My knowledge is finally about to pay dividends. He is so sus. He is so sus. I don't trust him at all. Records of an unknown attribution. A record left by unknown person. It appears to have been hidden here intentionally. It's beyond doubt that the elders of the Order of Skeptics are hiding something. Oh. Only while accompanying the investigation team from the rainforest, I was finally able to resolve the doubts I had for many years. The realm does not just belong to those of blood or Conria, but it's the homeland of all human beings. Holding fast to this maxim, my ancestor Hadura couldn't bear to see our people meet such a tragic end, and yet their dedication was rewarded by an unjust punishment, their reputation impunged, and their legacy stigmatized. And now I understand the meaning of all this. Perhaps it is as the notebook says, and we can find the power that transcends even that of the abyss, the power of evolution. Oh. Is the power of evolution the forbidden knowledge, possibly? I don't like that. Just as the notes say, you're back already? But judging by your appearance, you must have fought the energy block we require. I've examined these energy cores. They're well preserved. Now all we need to do is install the energy block into them. I don't like that, and that I shall leave in your hands. The energy cores have been filled. Now we should be able to activate the control systems. That's what I wasn't expecting. Is there a problem somewhere? Seems if we'll need to go and have a look at the control center where the relays are, which is fine. It's on the way to proving grounds all the same. Well, now, it seems like the control center is in the direction you previously came from. Since that's the case, let's go together. No, it recovered. I'm gonna get bullied to death. Oh no, Aether! Aether,
This
no!
is not the end.
That's not my fault! That was not my fault! That's because they put me in a cutscene! I'm suffering. As I thought, the problem lies within these relays and my death. The energy from the energy cores isn't reaching them. We need to find a way to connect them. The ruin guards stomping around in the background is sending me. And some of the relays in the place have been sealed in the crystal, but since these ruins don't use impurities as an energy source, they shouldn't have come to their attention of Khvarena at all. The only explanation for that has to be that this place was intentionally sealed by someone with the ability to use Khvarena. But why would they do that? What are they trying to hide? Probably a lot of things. Well, I suppose this can be discussed later. Our current task is still to use Khvarena's power to remove the great crystals that have formed those seals. There should be firewicks nearby that contain Khvarena's power. I believe that you can sense it too, mighty envoy. Of course. The way the ruin guards are stomping around Sorush is actually sending me. Are you doubting my majestic power as the bloom guards? The ruin guards. Hardly. I would never dare. Please, great eminent envoy, guide us. We just need to find the firewicks, remove the great crystal, and use the mixer once again to connect the relays. Great envoy and her honored Yasnapati, I fear that this is as far may attend you. And what's the problem this time? According to the text, the road ahead is full of perils that no ordinary mortal may bear. Once we go in, we shall be within the proving ground that the Darians once used to test their machines. There's even an incomplete prototype of a giant machine amongst them. Great! Another ruin guard that I can die to. We love that.
The copy Darian records in my notes say that this place was one modified for use as fortifications from which the monsters could be attacked, although I didn't see much use of that in that regard. Strange, isn't it? Why would the Darians who triggered the defiling disaster create machines to fight monsters? All the same, now that we have activated the control systems for these ruins, defensive mechanisms within the proving ground must also have been activated. The great song we're searching for should be within the golem. Though I'm stymied, I suspect that it will prove easy for you all. Please allow me to stay here and await your return, so that we may be able to obtain all the great songs of Khvarena. Well, you are indeed but a mere human. Such a request is to be expected. By your gracious leave, then.
Well, guess Nasajuna is slipping off to the last moment. Still, Paimon's a lot happier now that you two won't be bouncing off each other for a while.
I think he's still sus. He's plotting something. He's gonna stab us in the back. He's gonna do a heckin' little stabby stab.
I see everything.
My knowledge is finally about to pay dividends. He says the same thing, and I don't like that. This seems like a battle area.
We can't see where the great Khvarena we need to get to is. But it's a strange device. Do we need to activate this device first?
Okay, device. Beep boop. I'm gonna die. Oh no. Ruinite core? Oh no. Oh no. What is that?
A weird cannon emerged from the ground. Are they trying to say that we should shoot that big machine over there? Such a thoughtful design.
Your imagination's truly is wild, Pale Floater. Did Narsuraya not say earlier that this place was modified from its original form as a proving ground for testing machine functionality? It appears that the device was unlocked earlier was meant to be used as activating the proving ground. It seems that the modifications did not include dismantling of the original devices. A most helpful discovery indeed. In that case, my Yasnapati honor of operating this cannon shall be yours. So I go pew pew. Oh, hello? I'm controlling it. I don't like that. Oh no, I have to aim. Stop. Stop that. No, I can't aim. Guys. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, please. Please, I'm begging you. This is why I can't play FPS. Do you see my shots? All missing. How did they recharge so fast? Stop. This is why I don't play FPS. This is why I don't play FPS. Please. The sensitivity on this is sending me out of existence. Like right now. Please. How do I play this game? Please, get over here!
Finally, let's go get that machine if we can find the great Khvarena.
Obtain the great song of Khvarena. Few tortages found in the ruins, although ripped from the pages of a notebook. The Khvarena can reverse the influence of abyssal power. Okay, this is exactly the same quality exhibited in the mysterious crystal that we mentioned previously. But on the other hand, it perhaps is being influenced by the material the locals called Amrita. The versatility of the power of the Khvarena far exceeds that of many powers previously known to us. Though it's completely meaningless, but what if smelting the method used for azosite was used for the process of Khvarena? Followed by the abyss created a reaction, perhaps a true perpetual energy source like the one idealized by the Conrians could be created. If the origins and properties of Amrita can be ascertained, then it may be possible to find a way to elevate the mortal and mundane to supreme purity? This sounds delusional. As one might expect from the great envoy and her Yasnapati, neither the Donrian machines nor the creatures of Dev were able to stop you.
When did you get here, Nasajuna?
Why, I was watching your wondrous battles from the side, and oh, what a sight it was. Then upon seeing that you had the great song in hand, I rushed to meet with you, of course. He's so sus. He's so sussy. He's a sussy man. Good work, all of you, and while we're on this topic, perhaps you might give the great songs of Khvarena to me for safekeeping? I mean, well, it might... How do I say this? Give me a greater sense of my participation in our grand endeavor.
much from the start anyway. Zeruvan said that we shouldn't give the great songs of Khvarena away carelessly.
Oh, don't say that. I mean, I've done so much research on them. I'm sure that a little examination on my part will be helped later. For example, we can find out why these great songs of Khvarena have come to be hidden in these ruins, and this is not the time for stories, Nasaraya. Yo, he's so sus. He was just like, so, Uwu, could you give them to me? I don't know about that one, Chief. Well then, let me help you open this door. The final great song of Khvarena can be found in the underground Darian factory. I don't like that there's a factory. We're a mere one step away, but knowing that we're so close to collecting all the great songs, I feel rather excited. Haha, go do your work, I guess. I don't trust you at all. Ha, long have I prepared for this moment. He's gonna unleash something terrible, and I'm really, really scared. I don't like that. I don't like this. I don't like anything to do with this. Ah, there we go. Inside at last. Okay, so we're gonna have to bring more of those green thingies down.
Well, looks like the main hall. What should we do next?
Let me think. Just like the previous ruins we explored, this should also be the energy control hub for the entire ruin. If the documents I have read are accurate, this place was used as a manufacturing center, and it was owned by the Dari warrior band known as the Schwandritter? That looks German as hell. The ties to Mondstadt and Conria just grow stronger, huh? Just as the proving ground from earlier was. According to these records, they resisted the monsters that surged forth from beneath the earth during the cataclysm that occurred 500 years ago. But it's not that important right now. Whatever the case, my notes say that the great song we must claim here is at the very bottom of this factory. We'll need to use the elevator to reach the location, which means that activating said elevator is our present problem. But just as with the previous ruins, the relays powering the elevator has been sealed by the gray crystals. We'll need to find Farwicks to eliminate them. Seems we'll need 3 of those. Notes say that these ruins should contain quite a few of them though, so we might as well have a look around the adjoining rooms.
Well, as you say that, but the doors all around look closed. Doesn't look like we're gonna get anywhere fast.
Pale Floater, you fret over too much. All places are accessible to those who use Khvarena. Is not one of their Farwicks you wish to find here? Exactly. As long as we use the Farwicks to break the seals over the relays, we can use the mixer to transfer the power over to the devices near the doors to open them. Almost like they adopted Kronrin myths. I know. Sausage. Well, let's give it a go all the same.
Oh, it really opened. In that case, let's do the same with the door on the other side.
I'd love to go over there and have a look. My notes say that this factory's smelting center lies that way. But oh no, I can't do anything because I'm going to stab you in the back. I mean, I need to do important work. But seeing the state of these relays, we'll need another Farwick to activate the door here. If we want to activate the elevator, we need to unseal all 3 of these relays. Considering that, we could trouble you and Great Envoy to go find it. Oh, you almost sound like you presume to command me. Oh, no, of course. I would never dare do such a thing. Oh, Great Envoy. Yet this is just a task that only you may accomplish. You and your Yasnapati truly work wonders that a mere mortal such as I cannot aid in accomplishing, and such mine is only to wait for your return. Still, do take these investigation notes along with you so that you shall not lose your way. It contains the locations of all the Farwicks you must find. Oh, Renee's investigation notes. The analysis of the nature of Varukashada's oasis. Intriguing. The structure of the so-called Sacred Lotus is similar to the composition of mine and Jacob's bodies, yet has almost no common properties with that of Mr. Carl. A strange result, one that would require more data samples to verify. Shamania won't let us take any samples. How churlish. We also ate dried bread. The jam was nearly gone. I didn't know why you needed that as a note. Compared to the powers of the elements, the power of Khvarena is actually more similar to it assimilates whatever materials and energies it comes into contact with. Although Khvarena is opposed to the energy of it does similarly have a form of self-recognition. On this point, the two possess the same properties, just as the tinctures of mercury will not mix with water, but will so do the other. we can reasonably infer that the power of Khvarena might be the same as the power of the rest being projected onto this world. Perhaps it's precisely because such thinking that those pretty shamania came up with the notion of conflict. More importantly, we might be able to consider Khvarena records to deduce the world formula based on this. There was much to consider today, so I decided to eat a couple more sweets, finished off the jam. He sometimes cries in secret. How are you roasting him in a note? It's understandable, I think. All my teeth have come in, so I'm an adult now, but he's only just had his third tooth come in. This would normally be time for afternoon tea at the institute. At the moment, I don't know what Elaine... I told him that the vice director said that she would definitely return. She's amazing, always keeps her words, and is an adult who never tricks children. But seeing all of this, I'm starting to think that she will be unable to return. Jacob has clearly thought this too. Split the last of the jam between myself and Jacob. Based on Khvarena records, the place produces azosite, a block of energy of some kind. It is certainly convenient, at least appears to be relatively stable and safe. It seems that the original plan was to use it as a power source for some sort of agricultural machine. The Ruin Guards. Though the results are nothing impressive, this is because the object they chose was pure elemental force, which lacks any will whatsoever. Like the difference between a director and a hydro slime, perhaps. Based on her nature, she shouldn't die. At least I hope not. So weak. If we won't take any measures, it's unlikely that he'll endure long enough to return to Fontiane. Fontiane? Should be able to use his power, furious, but it's understandable given that the homes this far apart have been flooded. An altitude of resistance to this kind of power is normal, but we must preserve Jacob's life. After all, the Nazikrez Institute. Oh, is this why the institute blew up a while ago? Lost consciousness. I do not think power can be classified as right or wrong. Adults are too pedantic. Only remembered I hadn't eaten. Today's meal was only dried bread without jam. Regained consciousness. Jacob forgot. So Mr. Carl became suspicious, but the fake journal should still be effective for now. Intriguing data was gained during the process. Based on the documents left behind by the Khvareans in this data, we can obtain some formulae? Multiple of formula? To celebrate and help Jacob supplements his nutritional intake, even though there's no need. I already told him that we must keep up the ruse. Mr. Carl foraged some nuts. We boiled them down into jam, which used up our remaining sugar, but that's fine. If things go to plan, we can return soon. Can all be deduced all the way until the second floor periods. I've decided to call the previous incident that flooded the courtyard the first flood period as to better separate the two. The names being too similar caused Jacob to input the wrong data. Tail end. Though I don't want to admit it, no matter how many times the calculations were run, the results are the same. I cross-checked with Jacob. Unbelievable. Destruction? Did I miss a variable? I must check the calculations again tomorrow. The results are as clear as a coin at the bottom of the Fountain of Lucine. Jacob also saw similar scenes. There should be a way. No, there must be a way. Actually, thought of a possible breakthrough during the process, even though the calculated result is unchanged, but maybe the refinement method was reflected. If the power of, then maybe we can extract the will within. Using this method, resist the impact. We begin our journey back to Fontiane tomorrow. This trip paid enormous dividends, and as much as what we learned will be applicable, a larger catastrophe must be avoided. The plan should be fine. Nothing more than a question of what Jacob and I can do. Jacob is scared because he is still a child, but he already has strength greater than most adults. With us, Elaine, we can surely stop the disaster. Must speak with Elaine upon our return. What? So this is a kid doing research at the Fontiane Institute? Is this a setup for the next area? Because it sounds like it. And maybe we'll find out more information about Fontiane through this quest. Seems like they experimented on orphans, which means, right, if they're experimenting on children and orphans, you know who was important figure that also takes care of orphans? Arlecchino. That means Arlecchino has to be in Fontiane, right? There has to be a connection with Arlecchino and Fontiane. Maybe we'll meet Arlecchino in-game next patch? Think about it. And that also explains why maybe the Fatui have such young mindsets, considering what we've seen in the Golden Island Archipelago, right? Their childish mindsets in adult bodies doing research. The crack theories are coming back. It took me much effort to obtain this information, so do keep it safe. Without the notes to guide me, I should not be able to leave this place alone, and you would not leave a poor man such as I here in the dust, would you? You possible Mr. Fatui member, you? Mr. Fatui man, what do you have thoughts? We've finally progressed to this phase. Next step to follow will be simple. Experimenting on children, Mr. Fatui man? There's more notes. Ancient engineering. Why is the battle music still going? These logs have been piled up amidst the junk. They're all from an unknown era, though they appear to be quite ancient. Based on our projections, the azosite concentration will exceed 60% after the round of smelting, though it still fares poorly when compared with that nearly discovered so-called perpetual energy source. After these energy alloys from the Matrix, they should suffice to break through the technical bottleneck in the energy efficiency requirements imposed by large-scale mechanical wardens, not relying on some dogma from beyond the heavens, but only upon the wondrous achievements brought about by human intelligence. We continue to explore this path. Perhaps we shall one day be able to create a new perpetual machine. I know Fontaine was having energy issues, right? Is it possible then that maybe we're gonna have to deal with the energy issues here, and possibly that's gonna be the whole premise of the Fontaine storyline? The power energies, the fact that the Futui might be messing with Conrian technology, specifically Fontaine being an environmental justice story arc. I mean, we had a glimpse of that in the forest, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if they did this as well in Fontaine, but I don't think it will be solely that. I have a feeling, right? I think we're gonna get more information about what's happening with Arlecchino, specifically. Maybe the captain, if he's actually in Fontaine. Otherwise, he might be in Notlin. Oh my, you're finally back. Finally? What have you been doing this entire time? I was beside myself with worry. If some frozen beasts were to suddenly revive themselves, I would have been done for, no doubt. Fortunately, nothing of the sort happened. Well then, that's 2 fireworks have been obtained. In that case, let's open the door to the right, just as before. Following that, you'll allow it. I shall follow you onward. Sorush, you're blocking the way. What is that? That is molten lava or something.
Wow, that's a huge furnace. It's super hot. How is it still in operation?
This giant furnace is used to make a substance known as andesite. It's the core of this entire factory, and the energy blocks we saw earlier were derived from this place.
But shouldn't this place have been abandoned ages ago? No one should have been able to get in here.
Well, there might be some paths in here that we're not sure of. Those people who worship the Dark Abyss, and perhaps even the Fatui you spoke of, may have entered. Oh, I think you know who the Fatui are, buddy. Surely, now that I consider it, the great songs might have been stolen by now, if it were not for the fact that Lady Sorush may touch them. Ha! Worthless worries. The great song of Khvarena are my destined inheritance. That any others may taint them with their touch. Inconceivable. Indeed, indeed, it is so. But we must find one more Fairwick to activate the relays sealed in the crystal, if you are to claim your destiny. Then we can activate that elevator and go where the great song awaits us. Come then, let's go. Most of the context here has been deliberately erased with only the title page. Is that a ruin guard? Hello?
Sweet dreams.
You cannot be serious. I was just trying to read. Every time Sorush just blocks the main character. Ah, do you see that giant machine up there? That's a central control device of this entire factory. As long as we can get the energy from the relays to that center and activate this device, we should be able to activate the elevator. Whatever the case, let's hurry and unseal the relays and then use the mixer as before to connect the circuit. It's almost like you're using us for your nefarious deeds. What is it? There's no time to retreat.
Yeah, you know what? You know this place all too well, Nazajuna. It's like you've been here before or something. Don't you find it weird too, Sorush?
Well, that is true. He is a human Bijnanapati. Surely this is not beyond him? Don't look down on us scholarly types. With the aid of these documents I read in the mountains, I can even master these devices. And I have not only read the books within the House of Dana, but I have spent much time collecting tomes heretofore hidden. As the great envoy commanded me, I have always paid special attention to the records concerning the great songs of Khvarena and underground ruins. Tell me, is deriving record truths from documents not the essential work of those whose preoccupation is such writings?
I think Alhaitham would fight you on that, if I'm going to be honest. And even if you should suspect me, let us save that until we have obtained the great song of Khvarena. You would not abandon me here at this juncture, would you? Please, let us focus on resolving the matter in this elevator. Good. Now we only need to activate the central control device at the control platform above, and the elevator should be restored to a normal function. Well then, Yasnapati and of her eminence, the great envoy, I leave that to you. I still have to work to do here examining these age machines or something. I'm totally not going to stab you in the back. We're finally here. The preparations I made were not in vain. And yet, let us leave the celebrations till later. Who knows what dangers lie yet ahead? Haha, I totally don't know anything about this. Ha 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 ha. I'm just so big brain, I guess. I don't like anything that is happening right now. Finally, now all we need to use is the elevator and we shall reach the deepest section of this factory. Well, my notes do also say that a path into the underground realm still deeper down than this factory may be found there, but that's not the place that we can reach. The road ahead of us is perilous, but I'll not falter in the precipice at this time. This may be considered the deepest part of the surface realms after all. If a researcher such as myself were to stop here, I would surely be ashamed in the name of my order. As always, I leave myself in your able hands, Yasnapani, honored envoy. Nice!
And that's all 5 great Khvarena in our hands! Now we just need to take a moment to surf on in the sea of flowers and perform that ritual of whatever we're calling it.
Please wait. As I see it, the great song should go to me first. As I mentioned before, I still must examine these great songs more carefully before the rite of Shinva can begin. And did I not put in much effort towards finding them as well? If I were not present, you might yet still be stumbling blind through this factory. Even with your notes, I still stumbled around this factory, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, that's what it looks like, yeah.
Don't agree with him, Paimon. He's the bad guy. Yes, reasonable is it not? Come then, give me the great songs quickly now. That way I can draw upon a procedure for the ritual first. Yes, that's right. That's my work too, after all. Yeah, I love how Aether's unimpressed, and honestly, as you should be.
You know what? The more you talk, the more suspicious Paimon's getting.
That will be unnecessary. Let's have Sorush decide. Actually, no, I don't trust Sorush at all. That will be unnecessary. It is as my Yasnapati says. You simply need to await the completion of my heroic deed, Nasuraya. Silence! You piss me off. Oh, well, there he is. There's the villain. Oh no. I can't believe he's done this. Nasuraya, you dare! Ha! Well, I've said it now, haven't I? I've blown my cover. It is such a liberating feeling to no longer have to grovel and nod before the idiot of a pari. You are not making me do his villain monologue in a woo-woo voice. You are not making me do his villain monologue in an woo-woo voice. Well, where should we begin? Even I'm not sure. I'd love to tell you all about my plans. Dead people tell no tales after all. But I'd wager you'd not like to hear such a convoluted matter such. Why don't you just hand the great songs over? That will save me time.
Nope, not happening. We spent so much effort getting them, and if we don't have them, our commission's a non-starter. Zerothan also said that we'd be idiots to give them to you.
Bah, sideshows, all of that. Compared to my plans, I've been playing house with you imbeciles this entire time just to get the great songs. They call me Vishnanaptia at the order, but they could never understand my labels, so I acted in secret. I had to. In order to get the contact with the Khvarena constructs, I came up with the idea of using the rite of Chinva to extinguish the sign and lured in Sorush. And that was already a pain in the neck. You've seen it, how most Poi are just obstinate cretin. But she was truly useless. Her constant failure to obtain the trapway has made me on the verge of giving up. But it was thanks to you two, ultimately, that the chaplet was gained, and that we made it all the way here. Now, it won't please you, but I'm very grateful. Well, that's a bit too harsh on Sorush. Is that even important? The
The songs of the skeptics do not record that of some humans did become companions of Poi, but were it not for the great songs, I would never have associated with them at all. All that's left now is to use the great songs of Khvarena to reverse the weight of Chimba, which will release the seal on the abyss, and the wars of old will begin anew. Oh, the expectation, does it not kill you inside? Shame then that you shan't see the glorious sight.
But isn't your order supposed to help suppress the abyss? Why do you want to unseal this head?
You've turned back on your duties. Ah, but have you not considered other possibilities? Like you are like Enjo, and you are an abyss mage. Just as you have seen, the skeptics' documents are a pile of raving mad myths, while Dari records are factual, precise. As I see it, the history and the duty of the order of skeptics are but tall tales invented from nothing. My discoveries in the ruins only prove my judgment astute. I found great many interesting things here, just so you know. Well, I have managed to enter this place at times in secret, alongside the rector who gave me the notes. But this is the first time things went so well. According to my research, those who resisted the impurities here were the heroes of the Dari. They were the skeptics' true ancestors. But they were forgotten, and their tale untold. They were smeared as sinners, as the cause behind the disaster. Their deeds were wiped from the records by the twice-be-damned academia, and they mistakenly appropriated as a founding myth by the skeptics. I suspect that this is why the academia never intended to accept us. Regardless, betrayal is betrayal. I am merely ending my fraternal farce. I did say earlier, did I not? I found some interesting records in the ruins. For example, Dari records of the sign in the sky. They called this the sign of truth, believing that it's reflected the reality beyond our skies. That is my plan, to bring truth without mercy to this unjust world. Now then, my great work requires a great song of Khvarena, so hand them over. If you come quietly, perhaps I might spare you.
And what will you do? Snatch it? It's gonna be pretty tough for you, you know.
Well, that's too bad. I've come prepared. My apologies for the waste, oh priest of the Dark Hollow. Oh, hello. Hey, dude.
Gotcha.
Outwender, handle the Khvarena. Their power is more useful to me than it is to you. Hiya! No, how could this be? Looks like I must retreat. Good for you. Time for death.
Go.
I said time for death. I said time for death. Time for death. Oh no, I need a swed. I don't have swed.
Where's Nasajuna gone off to? He was hiding there over a moment ago. How could we have let him slip off like that? To think he'd gang up with the Abyss Order to take our great Khvarena. And what was that crazy nonsense he was going on about?
It's still rather concerning.
That's true. We can't really trust what Nasajuna says, but Zurvan might still know something about the Conrians who fought against the monsters here. In that case, let's bring the great Khvarena back and get some answers from Zurvan. As for the Order, didn't Nasajuna say that he was keeping them in the dark too? Well, we shouldn't rule out the possibility that some of them might have been swayed to Nasajuna's side, but Paimon thinks Piero and some others didn't know what was going on. If we got time, let's tell them the truth.
Oh, Sorush is probably heartbroken because he put so much faith in this dude.
Whatever the case, let's head back to the Sea of Flowers. We gotta make sure that nothing bad happens after all.
I'm glad Sorush is getting knocked down a peg and, you know, kind of learning from her mistakes. I actually appreciate that. Or at least I hope she's not going to be as cocky as she was before.
Sorush's been really quiet since we left the ruined factory.
Look how slowly she is trailing behind us.
He used to keep talking on, and so Paimon's not used to her being silent now.
Considering what happened, you know.
Cheer up, Sorush. We still got so many things to do.
That is the worst way to cheer someone up. Paimon.
For instance, we still need to perform... the rite with the name Paimon can't remember, and then fix the giant hole. After we're done, let's treat ourselves to something delicious for our hard-earned work. We can have, Paimon doesn't know what Pari prefer for food.
Oh, Sorush. It's okay, you're learning, buddy. Pari doesn't need to eat, silly floater. Oh, she changed her name. to think I have fallen so low to require the pale floater's comfort. What a shame. I'd rather be sealed in the great crystals right now or find myself a cavern to slumber undisturbed for eternity, till everyone I know ceases to exist. Sorush, I love you, but that's dramatic as fuck.
Paimon said Paimon's not a pale floater! But is there really such a cavern?
Avoidance can't solve the problem. At this point, I'd pass caring. How am I supposed to live with the sheer embarrassment of being fooled by Nasajuna? Anyway, now that we've collected all the great songs of Khvarena, you can go to Mihir or Rushnu if you want to solve the anomaly in the sky. Whatever the place, please leave me alone and pretend you never heard the things that I said.
You did say a lot of weird stuff.
My Yasnapati? Oh, stop. Please stop.
Traveler, stop teasing her now. She's been traveling with us for so long. After all, and Paimon doesn't want to see her quit halfway. What's more, Sorush does have some good qualities. Like, sometimes not being a total dick.
I saw you hesitating. Stop patronizing me. You got a sense of responsibility, I guess. They're both floaters, technically, yes. But I don't know. I'm kind of happy that Sorush is having this, like, second change of heart and, like, realizing her mistakes. Like, I appreciate this character growth so much. Maybe I will keep you around, buddy. How about that?
Yeah, and we haven't been working hard to extinguish the sign of the Apoosha? It's all thanks to you that we made it so far. How did it go again? Let Paimon think. As long as you keep going, I believe that it will only be a matter of time before you become a truly great adventurer.
Really? Do you genuinely mean to praise me? Oh, yes, as genuine as a friend can be. You might be a huge dick, but you know what? Stop doing that and maybe we can get along. Oh. I knew I was great. My motivation is back.
Now the most motivated Sorush is back, let's go find Zervan, fix the giant hole, and get a reward. Paimon can't wait to get her big meal.
I love that this is Paimon's only thought, because you know what? Same.
Zervan, we're back!
Ah, it's Traveler Zarushan Paimon. By the looks of it, you must have obtained all the great songs of Khvarena.
Despite some accidents, I suppose.
Whatever the case, the result is desirable. I was right to entrust the mission to you. Without you, the great songs of Khvarena might have been robbed away by those with ill intent.
Huh? Why does Paimon feel like Zervan saw what was coming?
We all did, Paimon. It's just you.
So I was onto something. You didn't run into the followers of the Dark Hollow, did you?
How did you know?
Well, instead of dwelling on how I knew, why don't you tell me what exactly happened?
You recount the adventure in the underground ruins.
Even the Order Vinjanat Party had sided with the Dark Hollow. That was unexpected. Not that I had any hopes with them to begin with, but that's a step too far. And if I'm not mistaken, Nasajuna had been enticed to pursuing the great songs of Khvarena by the servant of the Dark Hollow, you thought. That one was an old acquaintance of mine.
Huh? You know the guy from the Abyss Order?
He used to be with the Order of Skeptics. Several hundred years ago, an investigation team from the forest came to explore the secrets of the Darians. They insisted on entering the Darian ruins despite the Order's warning. So then the Vijnapati sent the man to go with the team in case something happened. No one knew what they encountered in the ruins. By the same time he reappeared, he had already embraced the defilement's blessings, and the investigation team was nowhere to be found. Then came the followers of the Dark Hollow. They were after the great songs of Khvarena for that purpose, and they summoned countless demons of Dev to attack the Borukushada oasis. Although we managed to protect our home with the help of many party and human warriors, we didn't eradicate the Dark Hollow's followers. To ensure that I left no gaps for them to exploit, I sealed the Borukushada oasis and the many ruins with the power of the great songs. The Order of the Skeptics never recovered from this incident. They lost their ancient archives to the fire and gradually became like this. I sensed the followers of the Dark Hollow were making their play since you last mentioned them, but I didn't expect them to have corrupted even the leader of the Skeptics.
Anyway, Paimon's still wondering what Nasajuna said. Do you know anything about the Skeptics' ancestors?
You fought alongside them after all.
Story becomes legend, legends becomes tales. That's how traditions live on. Forgetting is also part of the story. The more you cling on to the idea of tradition, the more you only selectively remember the story you desire and eventually become lost in the maze of tales. In a world where things are being forgotten every hour of every day, what we engrave on the ground is far more reliable than what we sing into the wind. That's why I trust you, for you are forthright and never seem to concern yourself with other people's judgment.
Although you're praising us, the way you put it makes it sound somewhat odd.
I somehow feel a sense of sarcasm. I presume Elder Zurvan's words are intended for me.
As for what happened 500 years ago, I think you'd want to see for yourself than hear my version of the story. And now you have exactly the perfect opportunity. By the way, Sorush, it appears that you've grown more reliable now. With what you've been through, have you awakened from those raving mad myths of humans?
Elder, please just let bygones be bygones.
It seems I have made the right decision to entrust the issue to Traveler and Paimon. In that case, I guess that I can also leave the right of Absor in your capable hands without any reservation.
The right of Absor, so it's not the other one.
Paimon remembers hearing Zurvan mention it. As for the cleansing, defilement of sorts?
The rite of Absor is a ritual performed to cleanse the Hari Spoktum of defilement. Normally, you only need to conduct it under the trees that suppress darkness. However, with the steel weakening and the anomaly re-emerging in the sky, we'll need more than the usual to solve this problem. The anomaly appeared right before Hari Spoktum as a result of the tree absorbing a great amount of defilement. With that excessive amount of filth building up within it, the corrosion caused by the anomaly, the Hari Spoktum can no longer sustain the Khvarena's power. The only thing we can do now is enter the Hari Spoktum to cleanse it and wake our god.
So we can actually enter the Hari Spoktum?
Of course. Did you not think that the rite of Chinvat was to be performed inside that dark hollow? Even Putty wouldn't be able to withstand the defilement within. Inside the Hari Spoktum lies a giant lotus, Khvarena, and our god's unconscious slumbers within it. By cleansing the defilement, the flower of sanctity will bloom once again. The Amrita will rid the land of all of its impurities. Convoluted as these processes may sound, I believe that they shall constitute no hindrance to you. Well then, I've already sent Rashnu and Mihir to the Tungi Hollow. You need only bring the great sums, and then you'll be able to gather the power of the Khvarena. Khvarena will awaken the huge trees that are suppressing the darkness and purify the contaminated mud in the depths. After that, you can then perform the rite of Chinvat and thus open the path to the Hari Spoktum. And once you're inside, the chaplet will reveal Sorush the great deeds of ancient heroes. Since all memories related to Khvarena will return to Hari Spoktum in the end, these memories will never fade, no matter how legends are retold and changed.
I never heard of this.
The chaplet was originally part of the Hari Spoktum. You will know when you get there. Now please, go and extinguish the sign of Appa Osha. We'll meet again when Amrita falls from the sky.
Why do I feel sad suddenly? I don't know, the world, the story building and the characters, like you latch onto these characters so easily. I'm so scared. I don't think Sorush is gonna be able to sacrifice themselves. I don't think that's what's gonna happen.
What took Sorush so long? We've been waiting here for a very long time.
I'm so tired. I want to go back to sleep.
Hey, that's not fair. I'm the one who's been laboring hard all along and you didn't do anything.
That's not true. Waiting is also an important job. In fact, acting is only momentarily while waiting is eternal.
What's with the weird logic?
That's just the philosophy of us Pari. But now's not the time to discuss philosophies. What matters is the great songs of Khvarena. I trust you collected them all, no?
Of course we have!
In that case, let us remove the seal. Then you can gather the power of Khvarena with the great songs. But be careful, since the filth has been building up for centuries, I have no idea what will emerge once I remove the seal.
Oh, look at them floating. That's so cute. They do a little dancey dance.
Whether it's Sorush or myself, all Pari have a duty that they must undertake. But you're different. You have come to help us out of the goodness of your hearts. For that, you have my thanks.
I'm so tired. I want to go back to sleep.
I love Rashnu with all of my heart. Like, here you go. Take them. Restore the lands. Oh, it's just like in Surumi Island, guys. We're rebuilding the trees. I hope we don't have to take them down again.
Now that we placed the Great Khvarena properly, everything around here seems to have recovered.
The trees were originally cultivated with the Khvarena to resist the corrosion of the cataclysm. It's just that their power have ebbed away with the passage of time. With the great song's nourishment, they'll be able to regain their former glory. But with the seal removed now, the filth from the past have been freed too. The rites won't be able to continue if Rashnu and I spend all of our energy here, so please, take care of these locations for us.
Ha! Leave it to me. I'm the Bloom Guard's job to fight the defilements. Look at this tree, it's so pretty! Okay, so this tree looks like it's been corroded by something gross. Oh! Okay, so we have to clean the muck, which, corrupted elemental energy, not liking that.
Whoa, monsters have been released!
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Make such a fuss about meaning trivialities. Dealing with them will be a simple matter.
Gotcha!
Dealing with them and also trying to do dialogue is not such a simple matter, Sorush. Do you want to voice yourself? I didn't think so.
Our work is done! It seems that some flowers have grown on the tree, but what do we do next?
Ah, don't look at me. I'm just as clueless as you. Now that Sorush has already put the twin-horned chaplet, she can connect the memories of the wisdom of the horoscopedom using the chaplet. Give it a try, Sorush.
I know, but I'm not used to the chaplet. I think I see new shoots sprouting, but the filth hasn't been fully cleansed yet. Still, I need to purify these flowers. Then the pure flower, Khvarena, will thrive again.
It's gotten quiet, finally!
Now perform the rites of Chinvat before the filth starts to ooze out again. Then our job will be done.
And that means I can sleep in peace without anyone disturbing me.
Come up now, Sorush.
Sorush, hurry up!
It has to be the three of us.
Oh, there they go. Bye. Oh, so each one gets a tree. Yes, do your ritual. Oh, cutscene. Oh, hello. Lots of green. Lots of green just happened. Oh. Oh, it's all nice and foresty now. Oh. Hey, you guys did great.
Done. The path to the depths have opened and our mission is completed.
Huh? That was quick. You kept talking about rite and stuff, so Paimon thought it'd take a whole bunch of complicated incantations to conduct.
Only humans need such things, and they can't even wield the power of these elements on their own.
What do you mean they can't wield the power of the elements on their own? Are you telling me the visions are useless?
Here? You have something to say?
We party are different, and our power of that of the Khvarena hail from the same source. It's like how you humans don't need to recite incantations to walk. Although you don't walk, you float.
Like Paimon said, your logic is weird.
Anyway, let's not waste our time on this irrelevant topic. I'll leave what's next up to you. May the eternal Khvarena guide us on the upward path.
Sure.
Okay, so we've purified the abyss. That's it. We don't need to go to Conry anymore. We purified the Oh, that's a teleport. Oh, hello? Hello? What is happening? Is Kazuha going to die? Don't kill Kazuha, please.
Are we at the top of the large tree stump? We went through all that effort passing through that cabin only to get blocked again?
I have obtained the Twin Horde chaplet, so why is the Haruspoken rejecting me? This shouldn't be happening.
Is there something wrong, Sorush? You don't look good.
No, it's the Twin Horde chaplet. Something's coming in.
Ah, hey, Sorush!
Roots of the ancient tree spread and interweave, each connecting, giving off a faint light. As light and shadow intertwine, one image after another flashes by. Amidst the desolate mountains, Hero wields various weapons, the Pari lined up behind them. Though the dark clouds hemmed them in, they could not move a single step back. In the darkest depths, titanic machinery glimmers softly, covering the flight of the people from the roiling black flames. Upon boundless wilderness, a masked sword wielder and one-armed sage stand back to back. A masked sword wielder and a one-armed sage stand back to back? Could the masked sword wielder and one-armed sage be Piero and Dainsleif? Under the aegis of Khvarena, they resist the swarm of monsters rushing in like the tide. The Khvarena guide the patch of all, and it's their destination as well. The countless lights converge into tiny motes, the white glow ascending from the tree's base. Eventually, the once dark sky lit up. Sorush! Oh nope, abyss, oh no!
Yeah.
Come on, Sorush, wake up! You're finally awake! You really scared Paimon fainting like you did up there!
I'm fine.
But the tree opened up after that, and we followed the path in! This is the giant lotus Khvarena that Zervan was talking about, right?
It's a giant onion. Okay.
What happened to you earlier? Did something go wrong with the chaplet?
I saw memories that the earth returned to Haruspoken. Countless Pari, Darian machines, and human warriors sacrificed themselves in battle against the demons. Masked swordsmen, a one-armed sage, and our ancient forerunners defeating the monsters that rode from the abyss. Their consciousness then joined the Haruspoken together with Khvarena, turning into rain that descended from the heavens.
The Darian machines? Wait, did these things really go the way Nasajuna said they did?
Looks like we'll have to ask Zervan.
What do we do now? Paimon remembers Zervan saying that we needed to clean out the impurities or something like that.
We must enter the defiled chambers within our god's consciousness to rescue the Spencer hearts trapped inside the impurities. Only then will the consciousness reawaken. In the memories I saw, that place was a boundless void.
That's the case. How are we supposed to get in?
Come with me. We need only follow the path left by the heroes of old, and we'll reach our destination. This is genuinely so pretty, but also, where am I going?
Time to go.
Okay, another one. Oh, it feels just like, another area in Inazuma. That scares. Stop. I'm trying to reminisce. Please don't do this to me. Oh, is this another location? Ah! Not it. freezing my game. Police. Actually scaring me. This is terrifying. It feels like the R&R all over again. Right? With that massive void area. This is the second one that we know of at the moment. Ah! Can I walk? What's like frozen ice? How strange. This place differs from the previous defiled chambers. I cannot detect Spenta's heart. What are the inverted crystals in the sky? They seem similar to the great chasm outside. There's something strange across the lake. Let's go check it out. Okay, we're in space realm again.
What is this place?
Oh. This feels familiar somehow. Let me fly up and investigate.
Wait, we just got here. Can't be lost already.
So I went in this circle already. Okay. Can I just bully my way across? I can if I have Kazuha, right? Who needs to actually figure out puzzles if you have Kazuha to cheat your way out of this? If I can get unstuck, that'd be great. Because I can just do... No! No, they figured this out! No, they blocked me! No! I wanted to not figure out the puzzle! No! I wanted to be lazy! They actually blocked me from figuring out the... bullying the puzzle to my whims! I have to actually do the maze. Boo! Thinking! Boo! I don't want to think. Imagine thinking couldn't be me. Oh, okay. Where are we again? Making your way downtown into the void. I am glitched out and it's not fun. Oh.
Whoa, Paimon certainly didn't expect to see Khvarena in here.
In the past, it was powered by the Khvarena to guide us on the upward path. Follow the Khvarena and we can reach the destination.
That should do it.
Yes, now follow the direction of something. There should be one more left, right? Ah, there we go. I somehow passed through it while doing the VOD. I'll take that. Okay, spent a heart obtained. So this is the end point. There is things that we have to fight, which is fun, I guess. Looks like the defilement isn't going to let us go. Gonna confine us with the hearts. I would like to reascend. Be careful, Sorush. Be careful, me. I'm not This is the slow descent to death, I suppose. Feels like we're getting closer, which is weird. Oh no, I'm just falling to my death. Well, I've accepted it. Oh, why was I facing downwards? Hello?
The Spenta hearts have all been brought back to the Lotus. According to what you said earlier, Sorush, we should be able to awake the divine consciousness now.
In that case, let the rite of Absor begin. Next, I shall borrow the power of Khvarena to make the flower of sanctity bloom once again in Khvarena. But this will mean unleashing the filth gathered within the sacred lotus, which will transform into monsters that will bar our path. It matters not, of course, for so long as the god's consciousness is awakened, the power of the Amrita will defend us. If the flower of sanctity grows, it will spread Amrita all over the land and cleanse its impurities. This, then, is a final battle worthy of a bloom god. There they go. Goodbye. Oh? Whoa. That's so pretty. The background music too. I'm literally gonna cry. That's so pretty. With the rites of Absor complete, you then follow the flow of... Okay, I don't get to read any of that. You see Zervan, who is expecting your arrival. Hello, Zervan. The music.
To think that you were truly able to complete the rite of Absor. Your deeds are indeed equal to the ancient heroes. Most surprising.
Well, you don't look surprised at all.
The sign of Apaosha has been extinguished, and the earth has been purified. To think that this could be done without even any sacrifice.
The rain was super heavy. That big hole in the sky's now gone, and the withered tree stumps grow back into a huge tree. Your god will definitely suffer less now that she's no longer being eaten away by those impurities.
About what happened 500 years ago, though.
Oh, that's right! The memory Sorush saw that those people from Khvarena amongst the skeptics who first fought the monsters.
Now, there's no need to be so serious. Since you have seen these memories of the past, I shall now tell you, they're not tales, but the truth. A long, long time ago, when I had first awakened amidst the sea of flowers, the skies were filled with anomalies of dark hollow, and there were monsters roaming around everywhere. Everywhere but the small land of refuge. I gathered the might of Khvarena according to the divine bird's last wishes, and departed from the sea of flowers to subdue the monsters, until I met that golden-haired man out in the wilderness.
We only know one golden-haired man, and that is Mr. Dainsleaf.
Half his body had become that of a monster, but I didn't sense an aura of monstrosity in him. When I discovered him, he was holding a ring tightly in his hand. I brought him back to the Sea of Flowers, and when he awoke, he claimed to be a Dari swordsman who had only survived because he'd been cursed. For a time, I traveled with this masked swordsman. We resisted the Dev that invaded the Sea of Flowers.
A masked swordsman? He was cursed!
Yes, it was said that the people of Dari were cursed to varying degrees during the catastrophe. Not long after that, people in scholarly garb led by one-armed sage came forth from the lands of the east of the desert. They claimed to have fought shoulder to shoulder with the heroes of Dari. They said that those heroes had walked their paths despite the ill repute they'd garnered. And that was to carry the will of those heroes had borne, and to completely destroy the disaster from the dark depths that they had followed the heroes' path to this place. Later, we entered a ruin left by the Darians together, and we found machines that had stood against the monsters, machines that belonged to the war party that had fought alongside these scholars. Finally, the one-armed sage used documents left behind by the Darians to find a path through the darkness through Haruspukdom. Thus, we did enter the tree and use Amrita to purify the defiled skies and earth. After that, the Sea of Flowers would consistently birth Paris, and the monsters slowly disappeared from the land. Later, the masked swordsman would leave the Sea of Flowers alongside a young woman with a golden hair just like yours, and the sage went into ruins underground and never returned. The humans who remained would forge bonds with the newborn Paris and call themselves Order of the Skeptics as they settled here. And now, a golden-haired hero has returned to the Sea of Flowers, and though it is not the one who came before, I feel that something has begun to flow again. This is also why I chose to ask you for help. With you around, I need not fret about going hither and thither, searching for a valiant soul to fight alongside us Paris. The task of teaching humans is a most trying one indeed.
That's because you Paris are just lazier than the last.
Hail Floater, do not include me in this.
Well then, since you have finished the rite of Absor, impurities will not be able to threaten this place for a time, and I can take that time to rest. As for Sorush, I leave her to you. Do guide her well on your journey. This, after all, is also the work of Yasnapati.
I do not intend to be lectured by you, Pale Floater.
Don't be like that. You gotta listen to your teachers, you know. Still, Zervan, you say that it's like we won't meet again or something.
Well, you don't intend to stay here with me, do you? You humans are all like that. You never will stop to settle down.
We will meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day.
Well, I'm afraid I shan't believe you. This isn't my first time hearing such words. Speaking of which, I wonder how that masked swordsman is now. If you see him, do say hello to him for me. You are both travelers, after all. I'm certain your paths will cross.
I wonder if they have.
All right, off you go where you need to be. Don't miss me too much now.
We're done with the world quest. Let's go. Let's go. Oh my god. I did not think we would finally finish it. All right, now we just gotta talk to Catherine, right? About the whole situation? Hey, Catherine, we went through an ordeal.
We're back, Catherine!
Welcome back. I received notice from the academia that you were able to successfully solve the problem posed by this strange celestial sign. Very impressive. I'd say that you exceeded the expectations on this count.
What? Paimon said you thought that we'd be the best choice for this job.
And no one died. Yay!
Or do you just say that to literally everyone?
She is a bot. Well, of course not. I believed you could do it. Ah, yes. We did ask you to contract the Narcojunites previously. Were they of any help to you, I wonder? So that's a racist name and we don't say that anymore, okay? It's a bit complicated. It seems that things got complicated. However, it is ultimately a part of your adventures, and experience itself is an irreplaceable treasure. Since you managed to successfully finish that commission, the guild should now have more permission to investigate those Khvarena ruins. If any related commissions do come up, you'll be first priority in our considerations.
You know, we've come all this way, but we still don't know who our commissioner was.
Well, the Adventurers Guild is obligated to keep the identities of those who submit commissions confidential. As such, I'm afraid I cannot reveal that to you. However, the person who gave us that token did claim to have been a light novelist. The guy from, the Order, right? Oh, he commissioned us.
A light novelist? Wait a moment! Did we hear that the skeptic Evelter?
It looks like you do know something about this, but well, that has nothing to do with the guild. Either way, the remuneration from this academia is here with me. Feel free to take it. There it is. There it is. It's done. We're done with the world quest, y'all, and it only took almost 11 hours. Yay!